We are live. Afternoon, everyone. Good to see everyone. Thanks for joining in. Another Sunday live stream, live from the 7 Mile here at Travelers Beach Resort. And of course, we got the beautiful beach as our backdrop here. I hope everybody is having or has had a good week. And we have an exciting stream today. We have a really exciting stream today. We got a couple guests coming on. And of course, we're talking healthcare and mainly the cost of healthcare and doing some slight comparisons with the cost in other places in the world. And I think I'm going to really get a lot of that from you all. We did the research on Jamaica, and we're going to be presenting that information to you all. And then we want to hear from you all in terms of not only the cost, but the quality of care, the service, all of that we're going to kind of really dive into today. And we got a couple of guests that are going to be coming on, healthcare professionals that I'm excited to be having on and to be hosting. And that's going to be the first guest coming on at 1 o'clock as I have it now. But before that, we got a lot to catch up on. We had an awesome live stream on Sunday. I should probably upload these videos now. I'm going to do that. We got some updates from the protest at Portland yesterday. So I'm going to try and do that at the same time while talking to everybody and just see how skilled I am, right? And see if we could do that at the same time. I just got them kind of coming through. Or maybe I can do that on my computer. Nah, rather not. Okay. We'll figure it out. As usual, please let me know where everybody is chiming in from, what city, what state, what country. I always like to hear how far and wide we are reaching, and as we build this community. So I'm just saving these videos so we can upload them and I can show you the on-the-ground situation and at Port Antonio at Blue Lagoon yesterday. For those that don't know, the Blue Lagoon has been closed for the last 6 months, as a matter of fact. And I recently found out about that. I had no idea. And there was a protest yesterday in Port Antonio at Blue Lagoon for it to be reopened. And on Thursday, which we have our new Thursday live streams, we brought that back. We had two of the organizers join the live stream and kind of break down what's going on in Port Antonio and their perspective on why it's closed and giving us insight into the protest that they did yesterday. And essentially, I mean, from what there just seems to be a lack of transparency, and I recognize that we only heard one side, and that's the side of the protesters, and they just don't have a lot of information. They're trying to understand why, and they did an excellent job in representing the protesters and reasons why they want it to be reopened and the reasons why they believe that they should be having some transparency here. And I agree with that. At the very least, this whole process should be transparent in respect to why the Blue Lagoon is closed. And as soon as I'm just kind of downloading everything now. So I should have done this before, but we're going to make it work. Oh, I'm hearing the volume is fluctuating. Okay, let me see if I could turn this off. Hold on. See if that's okay. Is the volume and the audio okay? I know this cord is a little funky. We might need to change it. Let me know if you can hear me okay, if it's crystal clear. I have another mic already set up so we can change that out if we need to, but just give me a thumbs up, or if the mic is not coming out so clear, please let me know. But let's hop over to the comments real quick. Donna Bryce says, happy Sunday, Throp and Throp family from Ottawa. Awesome. Chris Charles, Strong Island in the building. Nice to see you, man, as always. Rachel says, good afternoon, Throppers. Throp, good afternoon to you. Rachel says, I want to be on that beach right there, right now. I don't blame you. Soon enough, right? Kay says, good afternoon, everyone. Dale Clark, good to see you. Good afternoon, everyone. Kay says they are excited for this discussion, as am I. We're going to get through the opening here rather quickly, and then I want to hop right into the details. Claudia says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Verna. Kay is chiming in from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Welcome. Claudia from Florida. Awesome. Florida people in the house. Mark, what's going on? Greetings and blessings to all from New York. Okay, Mark is in New York. He's in the cold. Bob says, shout out from Pittsburgh, PA. I'll be in Sunset of the Palms in the Grill this July, 3rd year in a row. Awesome. Good for you, man. Great property. Great property. Love their food there. Simone says, hi, Throp and everyone here in Pennsylvania. Another Pennsylvanian. Junior, what's going on? Coming from NYC. Dale is in Virginia. Dina is in Toronto, Canada. Janine says, hi, Throp. It was nice meeting you last week. I absolutely love your resort. The best food, drinks, music, and atmosphere. I will definitely be back next year. Awesome. Very nice to have met you as well, Janine. And hope to see you next year. Glad you had a great time. Michaela, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Nice to see you. Thank you for letting me know that the sound is good. Okay, excellent. Thank you, everyone, for letting me know the sound is good. Kingston, good morning. Chiming in from Southern California, excuse me. Happy Sunday to you as well, Michaela. Ms. Cole, hello. Miro, peace, Throp and Throppers. Happy Sunday. Interesting topic today. Irija checking in from Negril. I was wondering about elder care and how Jamaica supports families in states we have homes. But there's homes here too, but I feel like just culturally, like parents live with their children, right? For the most part, I would say. But yeah, we can get into that. Irija says, health aides and more support with the elderly. It's difficult to navigate outside of nursing homes. I agree. But it's the services are, I will say, we'll get into it, but the services are there. But it's not super streamlined, I would say, in terms of you can call this number and like it's a lot of figuring out, and that's kind of been my experience, to be honest. Patricia Rose says, wanted to thank you for all that you are doing in general. I've been watching your videos back to back because of you. I've made the decision to take the leap and move. Thank you. Awesome. Congratulations, Patricia. I think that's a huge accomplishment in itself, is just making that mental decision and then working out all the details beyond that. Great for you and awesome to hear. Wayne says, up from Maryland. All right. Good to see you, Wayne. Patricia says, Jamaica is where my soul belongs. I hear you on that. Miss Cole says, I don't want to hear from the other side concerning Blue Lagoon. The police presence yesterday was the answer from the other side. We'll get into that momentarily. Joe says, hi, Throp and Throppers. I am so happy to have caught the live. I'm so happy to caught the live. I've been busy lately, Throp. I'm going to be volunteering in Elaine Bradley's clinic in April. I will be sure to stop by. Travelers. Awesome. Great clinic. This is the one. Oh man, she's going to kill me. I forget the name of the organization, but Mrs. Bradley does great work with, and Joe, you can help me out here, but there are children born with, I wouldn't call them not deformed, but they have born with like genetic issues with their feet and with their legs. And Mrs. Bradley runs this clinic downtown at the health center where she brings in doctors that put on these corrective braces on their legs, and after orthotics and that sort of thing, and after a while it straightens out their legs and they have a normal life. A lot of them, or at the very least it changes their life, and they even do prosthetics as well. And really amazing program, really amazing clinic that they do. And Mrs. Bradley, she is a Rotarian, and she is now the president of the Negril Chamber of Commerce. So one of those people here that make a real difference in the Negril community. So big up to Mrs. Bradley. Mel Murray says, hey, Throp, and good day, everyone tuning in from the UK. Awesome. Norma Davis says, hi, everyone from New York. Dolores, happy Sunday, everyone. Portlander watching from London. Gotcha. B. Isaiah, good to see you. Peace, Throp, and hello to everyone loving my homeland peace. Claudia West, I want to move back home and start my business, but I'm so afraid. What are you afraid of, Claudia? Let us know. We want to hear you. We're here for moral and community support in any way that we can support you. Joe says, Negril Pediatric Orthotic Clinic. Thank you very much, Joe. That's the name of it, Negril Pediatric Orthotic Clinic, and that is Elaine Bradley's baby down there at the health center. And as Joe mentioned, they're doing a clinic in April. Sherry, hi everyone, happy Sunday. Copeland Russell, here the other side. I hear the other side of the closing. They are trying to put in proper toilets. Yep, I heard we heard that as well on Thursday's live stream. Troy Marie says, happy Sunday, beautiful people. Happy Sunday to you as well, Troy. All right, let's see if we can upload some pictures from yesterday. And I just want to do this quickly because I know a lot of people might be wondering, what happened on Saturday with the protests. So let me just upload some pictures quickly and we can go through that. And I know everybody here is mostly for the healthcare situation, but we had the live stream on Thursday, and I do want to give a bit of an update on on what happened. So I spoke with Sima, or should I say we texted really this morning, and she gave me an update on how the protests went, and I can show you some pictures. And this is by the Lagoon. And if you recall, on Thursday there was up until yesterday, at least until Thursday, there was no police presence there. They had private security, but for the day of the protest, there was a police presence there. And some more pictures of the protest. More protesters. This is Jabem. They're the ones. This is the organization, and I encourage everybody to visit their website. And this is the police presence there. I think, hold on. I think we got a video. Yeah, we got a video here. I'll just play this real quick. This is 30 seconds.
Fly the gates! Open the gates! Let us swim! In the name of Queen Nanny of the Lagoon!
That's it.
Remove this barrier!
Rasasi Mandinga! Free up! Alright, here. Swimming!
All right, and that was the video. Did everybody hear sound on that? I did not hear a thing. Let me know if you heard sound on that video. I don't know if it's something with the setup, but I didn't hear anything, but please let me know. And then I guess there's a video. It's like 3 minutes long, but let me see. It was a news report from yesterday. Okay, for sure saying they heard. Excellent. So I'm gonna play this video. It's not the best of quality. Let me know if it's okay. It's about 3 minutes long. This is the news report from yesterday's coverage of the protest. Not the best quality. It was recorded on a cell phone, but you should be able to hear. If it's an issue, just let me know in the comments, and we can just take it down, and we could kind of just take a discussion from there. All right, so let's see.
Andrew Holness's intervention regarding the closure of the Blue Lagoon attraction. Now, scores of people gathered at the site earlier today to protest the suspension of activities. Now, as Sandy Williams reports, the facility was closed last year to accommodate renovations.
We come in the name of Queen Annie of the Maroon. We come in the name of Queen Annie of the Maroon.
It's the beginning of a battle with the government over the Blue Lagoon in Portland. Residents and environmental lobby groups are upset that after 8 months, the attraction remains closed. The beach property was closed to facilitate rehabilitation works and was expected to reopen after 2 months. But now the people are concerned that the facility could soon be privatized, as they are yet to receive any updates on the progress of ongoing works.
NEPA is in charge of protecting the environment, but they are in the Ministry of Job Creation and Economic Growth. So what do you think is going to happen? They're going to trample on the rights of the people for profit.
Access to the road leading to the property has also been restricted, which for the people constitutes a breach of their rights.
This is a parish council road. They have no legal right to block it off.
Yes.
It's a free access to the beach. Well, since we can visit our own beach.
This is made up.
This is totally wrong.
But the people marched to the property to demand answers, but were restricted by iron barriers and a team of police personnel. And this was enough to add fuel to their fire.
So the question we must ask ourselves, where do we stand in this nation when the police is being sent out against us on a peaceful protest just to swim? It is only to swim, and many of us can't swim. We're just going to dip in the water and walk on the sand. Let my heart bleed. Let my own people have guns. You know, step across the road. No man shoot me on my head and kill me. The devil man them with the money and the power. What are you going to turn you against me? That's it.
All people died in these waters. We deserve that. Not somebody with a strange phenotype and a strange name. It is all. We will fight and die for this.
Holness, on the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, this is in your court now. Remove these barriers.
Sandy Williams, TVJ.
And of course, we'll keep tracking that story.
All right, and that was the news from TVJ. Glad that everybody heard it. Thank you all for letting me know. And like I said, my main point, especially in bringing on the organizers, is really that I think transparency should be is the very least, and in terms of like understanding what's going on, and if it is privatization that they are going to do with this thing and turn it into, Dunn's River or whatever it is in the future, and this is the plan, like, one, I think the community should be involved in that decision. And then two, like everybody should know about the process and what's really going on. And what I took away mainly from the discussion that we had with the protesters on Thursday is that there just is a complete lack of transparency, and they're just kind of looking for, seemed to me, basic answers, and they're just not getting that. So and up until that point, they haven't got any news coverage. I haven't seen it in the newspaper. Like, we were trying to look things up, couldn't find anything, and I'm happy that they got some coverage. Hopefully they'll get some answers, and somebody can tell them what's going on, what is the plan, when is it going to be reopened, is the plan privatization, that, so on and so forth. As I was told also that while they were blocked from getting in, the people who lived in the area were actually seen on kayaks and enjoying the lagoon, which is that's one for the books, right? So yeah, let's hopefully hope that they get some answers and there's a little bit more transparency with this process that is going on and what's happening with the Blue Lagoon. I hope it opens soon. That is, I'm not sure if I said this earlier, but that is my favorite part of the island. Like, it's so beautiful, so lush, and I like getting out there as often as I can. I want to actually try to get out there with the team at some point this year, maybe in the summer, and really like highlight some businesses over there and speak to entrepreneurs about their businesses and do like a mega Port Antonio vlog. Like, we have to. Like I said, it's my favorite part of the island to go to, but it's a bit of a drive, so don't get out there as often as I would like. So so that's the update. I'll keep everybody up to date. Like I said, if you want to get more insight from the organizers of the protest, you can take a look at the live stream that we did on Thursday. Very, very, I would say, informative if you weren't aware that the Blue Lagoon was closed, and to get a much deeper understanding. We go a little bit over an hour of the just discussing and learning about what's happening and the laws and that sort of thing. So I would encourage you to go ahead and watch that live stream on Thursday. And also, as a point of information, we're going to be doing Thursday live streams from here on out, and we're going to actually switch that over to channel members and Patreons members. So and we're going to do that in April. So if you want to continue to see that second live stream, that extra live stream that we do every Thursday, and we'll be doing from here on out and going really deep on subject matters like this, you can join the Patreon or become a channel member, and you'll get those right to your inbox, and you'll be able to be part of the live stream on the Thursdays. And if you can't make the live stream, you'll always have access to the replays, and that will be exclusive to channel members and Patreon members starting in April. But for the rest of March, we'll be doing that for free, just like we do our Sunday live stream here every Sunday, right here live from the 7 Mile in the Grill. Okay, let's get to the comments real quick, and then we're going to hop into healthcare. We're going to hop right into healthcare momentarily. Just want to give everybody an update on that. Claudia West says, I don't have a problem if it is going to generate money for the economy, but I hope the money stays in the country and is used for economic reasons. Ms. Cole says, we are watching theft. Damian Redmond says, my only problem with privatization is when it's sold to foreigners without bids. On Damian's previous comment was, I have no problem with closure to accommodate renovations. And that was his follow-up. Ms. Cole says they are trying to shut out locals as clear as day. Damien says, I'd invest in a Blue Lagoon IPO. Patricia says, it would be interesting to know the local economic impact. Yeah, and that's one thing that they were talking about on the discussion that we had on Thursday, was that there were many vendors who that is their income. That is their only income. And then also, from even like a tourist standpoint, like that is going to have a crazy economic impact, because I don't necessarily know if that's the main attraction for Port Antonio, but it's definitely one of the main attractions. Like, every time I've been there, I've gone to the Blue Lagoon, Frenchman's Cove, like no matter what, like those are the two places I go every single time. And Frenchman's Cove is private. You have to pay to get in, but it's, I don't remember, but it's a few $100 Jamaican, and that's fine. But those are the two places like I always go to, that's always on my list, no matter where I stay when I'm out there. Gingerly says, I read a lot of illegal activities like drug peddling. I think that goes on in a lot of places, not excusing it though. The people need to enjoy the natural surroundings. Marie D, blessings to Throp and all Throppers. Good to see you, Marie. Elvis, what are your thoughts on Jamaica importing ganja from Canada? Is that happening? This is the first time I'm hearing. Is this for medical purposes? I don't know. I know like Canada and US is very, what would I say, scientific with their ganja. So I don't know too much on that, but that's interesting if that is happening. Dina Jenkins says, new to this, so how are we to subscribe to the membership? What's the process? So you can go to, I'm not sure if it's here, but if you go to patreon.com/Throp, then you can sign up for my Patreon. Let me put that in the chat real quick. Hope I'm spelling it right. Correct me if I'm wrong on there, Candice. And Damien says, I definitely have a problem with ganja importation. Yeah, that first I'm hearing about that. We'll have to look more into that. Okay, let's get into the healthcare discussion. That's the main reason why everybody's here. That's a quick update, not so quick update on what's happening in Port Antonio and the Blue Lagoon. Definitely will keep everybody up to date as things progress. If we hear anything, news stories, articles, if I hear anything from any of the organizers of the protest, I will keep everybody up to date. So today we, as I mentioned, we are going into the healthcare discussion, and one of the main things is a focus on the cost of healthcare, and this is one thing that like continues to come up in terms of what is the healthcare like here, what does it cost, and I've done like back of the envelope calculations, if you will, based on my own experience of healthcare here in Jamaica, and what we decided to do for today is really twofold. So one is like bringing an idea of like what specific costs that they are with healthcare, and this is very general. What we did and how we went about it is that we reached out to different healthcare offices. So we got a optometrist, eye doctor. We got a dentist office that we spoke to. We got some information on prescription drugs and the costs associated with that. So we talked to a pharmacy. We also talked to Omega Medical Hospital, which is as far as I know, the newest hospital in Negril. In Jamaica. Definitely the newest hospital in Negril, for sure. And it's considered a first world medical facility in Jamaica and first world medical facility in Negril. Huge, in my opinion. I can't state this enough, but just like a huge benefit for Negril. And I'm so happy that, this is in our backyard. And there's already been, of course, like, what would I say? Cases, and I'm sure many that I don't even know about, but cases where people didn't have to go to SAB, but they could get their emergency and also regular checkups, if you will, at the new hospital. All state-of-the-art equipment. We'll get into that in a few moments, and we will break that down. Second part is we have a representative from Guardian Life, and to talk about health insurance and also life insurance. And that's going to be at the top of the hour at 1 p.m. And we're going to be inviting them on. But this is kind of just like getting into these numbers. And I want to go a lot deeper. So we will definitely won't get through this document that I have and we'll be sharing with you in the half an hour before our guest comes on, but it will get the conversation started. And everything that I have here are like, this is raw prices. This is without health insurance. And this is what you would pay out of pocket if you do not have insurance. And just to give you an idea. And another thing I will say, this is just before we get into the numbers. When I posted this post on my community page, there was somebody who was saying, basically the healthcare system here is terrible, and that's just simply not the case. Does Jamaica have its fault in healthcare? Absolutely, no question. Absolutely, no question. But there are also like I find tremendous advantages with the healthcare system and how it's set up, especially when you compare it to the U.S. That's the only other nation that I can compare it to, because that's the only other nation where I have experienced and continue to experience health services from. So I know both of them quite well. I wouldn't say quite well, but I know both of them from experience. So where I will say, and we can get into this, and I've said this many times before, the one thing, the main area that I would have concern for in comparison to that of the U.S. in terms of healthcare in Jamaica is emergency situations. You know, where, and I'm saying that from the perspective of mainly from car accidents, because we've had this, where our hotel is located here at Travelers, like it's like almost right in the middle of like two S curves, and literally for years, like every month, every 6 weeks, there was a fatal or near fatal accident like in front of the hotel. And you know, you just kind of almost became used to it, unfortunately, and just being ready to take control of the situation, because you know, this has just been my experience just in general. Like, I mean, who's used to dealing with emergency situations, but like here in Jamaica, oh my gosh, like it's just pandemonium and just panic. And so you just become this person, this voice of reason, keeping a calm head and cool. And I'm digressing, but my point is this, like, I've dealt with a lot of too many, more than anyone should deal with, like these very traumatic, fatal, and many near fatal situations, and dealing with emergency care. And again, that's where I would say that, and just from this my experience, and this experience could be different in say Kingston or Montego Bay, but a long time we had a problem with, we didn't have an ambulance here in Negril. We got that. So now bringing things forward to 2023, there's been a lot of implementation of safety aspects on the road. We have these rudder bumps, I forget what they're called. We have these mediums in the middle that really slow down traffic. So Negril is no longer this, like, at least it's in, the intention is it's no longer this speeding highway that cars and motorcycles are coming down. So car accidents have really gone down tremendously. So although it took a very long time and many lives were lost, I have to applaud the authorities and those all involved with implementing the changes that they did, because I think many countless lives have been saved because of the implementation of these safety mechanisms on the road. But nonetheless, when emergencies do happen, you're just like, man, I don't know, you know. And it's just like one thing, and it's like I always said, like, I just would never want to be in a car accident here, because you just don't know how long, like if the ambulance is going to be there, how long it's going to take to come. Many times, most of the situations I've dealt with, like, we've put people in back of taxis, we put people in the back of police cars, put people in the back of people's trunks, like that's, put them in flatbeds. Majority. That has changed a lot. Again, bring it back to 2023. We have the new hospital. We have Omega Medical Hospital, which has their own ambulance. There's an ambulance downtown at the fire station. There are also other private ambulance companies in Negril. So, of course, private meaning you have to pay out of pocket. So that's kind of an update. It's gotten better, is my point. But I would say that is my main concern. There's also a concern about the supplies in the ambulance as well. There are a lot of organizations that bring gauze, band-aids, scissors, like all these things that you need to constantly resupply in an ambulance. They also need help with that. And I know that remains the case at this point in time. So, you know, just kind of trying to bring a balanced idea of what we're talking about here. And we'll kind of go back and forth with the yin and yang, but nonetheless, let's hop into the numbers here. So I'm going to share my screen. We'll bring back the beach for you. So we put together this document, and I'm going to go through it like literally word for word. And I will also say that if you are interested in receiving this document, I mean, how many pages is it? So far, it's 12 pages. You can sign up for our newsletter. We're going to get this out on, I think I keep pushing back the days. We'll get this out on Thursday. We're going to get this out on our newsletter on Thursday. We're just trying to give it a little bit more time. But this is all our own research that we did. And, anybody could do this, but we put it in a comprehensive document. So it's very easy for you to see and understand. And I hope the hope is that people will kind of use this, because I know as Irija was asking about elder healthcare and that sort of thing. I know this is a concern, especially when it comes to prescriptions. So let me share my screen real quick. All right, hold on. All right, share my screen real quick. All right. So to start with, we got the agenda, so to speak, there on your left. And if you have any questions, I will just kind of keep glancing over on the right, and I will try to answer them as best as I can. And if you have any questions on insurance coverage or life insurance or anything like that, just save them for the discussion when our guest comes on at 1 o'clock. I'm probably going to take a bathroom break before 1 o'clock. So probably at like 12:53 or 12:55 around then. I was going to play a quick commercial, and then we'll have our guests come on, because I want to be comfortable and in the zone and talking with our guests. So to start with, Jamaica has this thing, if you're not aware, called the National Health Fund card. And the National Health Fund card, and I'm reading this because I know a lot of people aren't watching the screen. I know a lot of people are doing laundry, cooking Sunday dinner, and that sort of thing. So I'm going to read it. I know everybody can read, but for the benefit of those who are treating this like a podcast, that's what we're going to do. And we'll move accordingly. So the Jamaica Health Fund card program provides subsidies to every person living in Jamaica, Jamaican residents, at any age for the treatment of 17 chronic illnesses. The NHF card helps you to pay for a select list of prescription drugs, respiratory devices, diabetic supplies, and diagnostic tests via our participating pharmacies, laboratories, or doctors' offices. The NHF covers a fixed amount of total costs, and you only pay the balance. To cover prescription drug costs, the NHF card can be combined with the card of a private health insurance provider. The NHF is always the first payer, and after the first amount is paid, the balance will be applied to your private health insurance, allowing you to pay even less out of pocket. With the swipe of the NHF card, participating NHF card, and Jamaica Drug for the Elderly Program, JDEP, pharmacies, all beneficiaries will be able to access the benefits relevant to their age group. So I first heard about the NHF card. It's like I have glaucoma, which is it's a chronic illness. I will be treating this for the rest of my life, or else I'll go blind. So I didn't realize, I had no idea about this program until my eye doctor told me to fill out this form. Very simple. I brought the form to Salve Hospital, checked out because my doctor stamp and everything like that. And I was issued an NHF card. And so every time I go to pick up my eye drop prescriptions, I always forget my card, but I have many times brought my card, they swipe it, and I get a discount on my eye drops. And when I heard about this, I was like, man, this made me so proud. This made me extremely, extremely proud that this was available, and that, Jamaica was doing this for me, and my country was doing this for me. Jamaica is doing this for all of its citizens and its residents, that they're subsidizing these chronic illnesses. And so I thought at the time that this was a really, really amazing, awesome program. So let's continue. And so these are the illnesses covered: asthma and subsidy for spaces and masks, arthritis, breast cancer and breast cancer receptor studies test, benign prostatic hyperplasia, diabetes and diabetes program, epilepsy, glaucoma, high cholesterol, hypertension, ischemic heart diseases, lupus, major depression, prostate cancer, psychosis, rheumatic fever / heart disease, sickle cell disease, vascular disease. So all of these are covered. And if you're watching, you can see in the document that we have here that will again be available to you if you want to sign up for our newsletter at thropex.com. They all have links that you can click and go to and get the relevant information. Continue on. Card benefits, subsidy on prescription drugs, double subsidy for children, Jamaica drug for the elderly program benefits, free glucometer, blood monitoring, selected medical devices and diagnostic tests, diabetes pay less for test strips, lancets, insulin refill pens, and syringes, and can have up to 4 HbA1c tests performed at selected laboratories each year. Asthmatics pay less for asthmatic pumps, spacer, and mask. Subsidy on breast cancer study. Individual benefits for prescription drugs. To view the PDF containing all the drugs covered on the NHF for each illness, click here. Again, you have the document. When you get the document, you can click and you can look into that yourself. How to apply. For those who want to enroll, applying for the NHF card is quick and easy. Fill out the NHF card application, including your TRN, and bring it to your doctor for certification, including their signature and registration number. Once completed, bring it to any of the NHF same-day card centers. NHF card applications are processed in 15 minutes at any of these locations. Click here to download the application. And as I said before, like it was 1, 2, 3 when I got mine. Just went up to the place at South Hospital and got it immediately, like right away. Processed. I was again super proud that this program even existed, and then also proud at how efficient it was. I was in and out. It wasn't Jamaica time, Caribbean time, Black people time, none of that. I was in and out and got it done. All right, so before we move on to the dental care prices, I'm just going to go over to the comment section here, and we'll hop back into it. Let me just see if I missed anything. All right. Maria D says, so the NHF card sounds similar to Medicaid in the US. Yes, it does. Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah. My dad has Medicaid. I guess it is pretty similar. But this one is not for, I believe Medicaid is 55 and older, if I'm not mistaken. This is for, again, every Jamaican citizen. Nikki Ellis says, actually scared for my life and driving in Kingston at this point. Just let relatives chauffeur me around. My life is worth more than anything. Yeah. I'm just kind of going back to what I was saying about the car accidents. Yeah, it's one of the things you gotta be very, very careful out here. Super careful when driving. Jay Allen TV says, healthcare is way better in Jamaica than US. I fly to Jamaica to see my OBGYN. Yeah, and so that's another aspect of this that I want people, and I've said this before, it's just like to take into consideration, is that I know in the US, like a lot of things aren't covered under many standard health insurances, like dentist and your eye doctor, and that's pretty common. Sometimes you have to pay into that, and we're going to get into this. We're going to get into this in a second. But here it's so much more affordable, and quality of service is great. And what you're saying there, Jay Allen's TV, is so true. It's just like you can get these great services, these, I would say, like these checkup type services. Like that's where I would say Jamaica is excellent at. And Jamaica has some very, very, very good doctors. And this is something that I guess that would be considered health tourism, Jay Allen. And, there's some people who come down here to do, for months at a time, and they don't have dental, and they have never even thought of that, getting a dentist appointment or getting a dental checkup. And we're going to get into those prices, and you'll see exactly what I mean in respect to that. Dwayne Mattis, thank you so much. He says, best podcast from JA. You should have Ms. Dawn as a regular guest. Great work and informative. Thank you very much for the donation. He's talking about Dawn Gray, who's the real estate attorney. If you haven't seen that podcast, which is a clip from ThropX 2022, like fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. So much information. Gave so many real world examples of the importance of having representation when you are purchasing real estate in Jamaica. And as I said in the lead up and in the intro, it's entertaining, but it's also extremely, extremely educational and informative. And if you haven't watched it, we released it on Saturday, and I encourage you to watch it. It's very good. It's very good. And second thing I will also say with that, as I mentioned before, that some people are listening to you watching this quote unquote as a podcast on Sunday. We are now releasing all of our new content in podcast format, traditional podcast format. So wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, right across the board, you can search On Deck with Throp, and you can download or just stream the podcast right to your phone, whether you're going to work, going to school, in the gym, whatever have you. You have that now available. And then we're going to retroactively go back and upload all of the previous podcasts that we had. So you have an opportunity to view and experience the podcast however you like. But thank you once again for the donation, Dwayne. Much, much appreciated. All right, getting back up to the comments. Miss Perfectly Imperfect says, Jay Allen TV. Jay Allen, you're the first person I've seen with that sentiment. Let's see. Rachel's asking, Jay Allen, really OBGYN and J is better than US? That's big. I'll leave that to you all to discuss. Ms. Cole says, I will not give up my American healthcare for Jamaicans. No. I would never say that. I would never say that. And that's not the idea here. And so as we get into it, so for example, and we're going to get into it in a second. So as you say that, Ms. Cole, what if your healthcare for, say, an MRI, your coverage is only a certain percentage for whatever reason? And I believe last we looked up, I wish we had looked that up for this. I believe the average cost for an MRI in the US is $5,000, right? And what if you could come to Jamaica without having insurance, get the same information, same MRI, same machine, maybe even newer machine that you would get here, because over at Mega Medical Hospital, they have a brand new MRI machine. You can do that for hundreds of dollars, maybe $200 or $300 or whatever it is, and get the same results and bring those results back to your doctor instead of maybe shelling out thousands of dollars out of your pocket. Or maybe you don't have health insurance, period. And you're coming to Jamaica anyway. And so this is the approach, I would say, more of as a subsidiary if you have already health insurance, healthcare coverage in the US. Or again, if you don't have healthcare, maybe you don't have dental, maybe you don't have optometry, whatever it is. Another example, I have given this before, is I had these PRP injections put into my knee. I paid maybe like not even a few hundred. I don't even think $100 US that is. And I had torn some ligaments in my left knee. I got these shots last year, and my knee, it's so funny. Like my left knee is now stronger than my right knee, and so much that like there's overcompensating happening right now. So one, the procedure went magnificently well. It was 1, 2, 3, and then you counter that to my friend who needed PRP shots in his knee, and he was being quoted because it wasn't covered under his insurance. He was being quoted $1,500 US for that same procedure that I paid less than $100 for. And so this is what I mean. Like, there is no Jamaica makes you throw away your US healthcare. Like, not at all, not even for a second. And my point is like, there are these standardized procedures or standardized healthcare services, I should say, that in many ways could be, at the very least, is the same here in Jamaica at the fraction of the cost, just as competent, just as great a service down here as well. And that's just one example that I will give of that. And so again, I just want to be clear. I'm not saying to give up your US healthcare. No, not at all. Let's see. Let's keep going. Patricia Bowe says, I agree. The people are skilled, but they don't have the resources and tools. Is the lacking in knowledge and expertise of people. Yeah, so that's some hospitals definitely have that issue here in Jamaica. There are some hospitals in the US too, have the same issue. And we saw what happened during COVID. Many the healthcare system was stressed and a lot of weaknesses were exposed in different hospitals. And so obviously that's an extreme example, but you're right. There are some hospitals that are lacking resources here. Let me keep going here. I see the comments are coming in fast and furious. We're going to take a break in 5 minutes. Drewski, Jamaica has no hospitals that can address extreme injuries like gunshot wounds, accidents, and burn injuries. A country the size of Jamaica requires that. So that's I would say trauma is where my biggest concern is in with the healthcare system here in Jamaica. I can't speak to where it's at comparative to the US, but and forget about the cost. Even to me, it's just like, life, when a life-saving situation happens, is needed. Do they have the tools, resources, know-how to deal with it? And I don't really have a direct answer to that. But I know it's not where it could be at and should be at. And that would be my biggest concern with the healthcare system in Jamaica. But going to normal everyday, set up an appointment with your doctor, get your prescriptions. What's wrong with my foot? I have a fever. I give Jamaica top marks. Honestly, I really do. Sasha says, Throp, hi. It's not clear if you're talking about private or public healthcare, because if you have money, you're safe, but public healthcare is shocking. I agree. So we are speaking to an audience of people who, as you can kind of tell by the comments, who mostly are living abroad, Jamaican or non-Jamaican, who are considering living in Jamaica, investing here, spending extended periods of time here, and maybe already are coming here. And so this is the audience that we're speaking to. From a public standpoint, in terms of going to public hospitals, I can't, generally speaking, not the best. But if you can, and we're going to go into the affordability in a second, if you are coming from the US or from Canada, or stick to the US because I don't know too much about Canada. So if you're coming from the US to Jamaica and you have out-of-pocket expenses, which we know in the US it's sometimes just completely crippling healthcare costs that many people will never ever recover from, and it kind of almost ruins a generation. There were multiple cases that I've heard of during COVID of people literally dying because they were afraid to go to the hospital because they didn't want to be treated and get the bill. Sorry, they didn't want to be treated because they would get a bill for it that they knew they couldn't afford, and that financial fear was greater than their own personal health and well-being, so much so that they lost their life. So that's the perspective that we're coming at, and we're coming to you from. Generally speaking. Marie D, Medicaid in the U.S. is actually for people with low income, and Medicare is for seniors. My bad. You're right. Sorry about that. I mixed them up. Thank you for that clarification. B. Isaiah says, just saw the new hospital location in Norman Manley. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty impressive, I have to say. Very, very impressive. Noble Girl says, I've had very inexpensive healthcare services in Jamaica, and service was great, and it didn't cost me $10,000 US. Matter of fact, less than 500. Congratulations on the expansion. Thank you, Shayna. T says, does anyone know if St. Anne's Bay Hospital has an in-house MRI? I'm not sure about that one, T. Sash says, from what I know, there is no specialist burns unit in the entire island. Patients with serious burns are always flown to the U.S. That's crazy. Yep, I hear. Yep, I've seen that kind of several times. I'm not sure if that exists here. Maridi says, I work in an American healthcare system, and you can go broke over here if you have catastrophic illness. Yeah, and that's one thing. It's just like, man, that should just, especially in a country like US, that should just never be the case. Gingerly says, wow, what about University Hospital in Kingston? They had a burn unit there. Is it closed? I'm not sure. All right, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'm gonna throw on which one should we do? Sorry if you guys seen this before. You want to see, let's see. All right, we'll do drones and mangoes. We haven't seen that one.
손을 놓지는 못해 울어버리면 현실이 될까봐 참아보지만 같은 공간 속 서로 혼자인 채로 결국 눈을 마주보지 않는 우리 남이 됐겠지 차라리 미워하면 차라리 미워지기를 미련과 익숙함 사이 그 어딘가 쓸쓸한 이 정적도 견뎌야만 하겠지 이별도 사랑의 책임이니까
그런 말 하지마 내게도 쉬운 일은 아냐 빠듯한 현실의 무게가 버겁고 낯설어 마지막 나의 배려가 어쩐지 상처만 주는 것 같아 같은 공간 속 서로 혼자인 채로 결국 눈을 마주보지 않는 우린 남이 됐겠지 차라리 미워하면 차라리 미워지기를 미련과 익숙함 사이 그 어딘가 쓸쓸한 이 정적도 견뎌야만 하겠지 이별도 사랑의 책임이니까 같은 공간 속 서로 혼자인 채로 결국 눈을 마주보지 않는 우리 남이 됐겠지 차라리 미워하면 차라리 미워지기를 미련과 익숙함 사이 그 어딘가 쓸쓸한 이 정적도 견뎌야만 하겠지 이별도 사랑의 책임이니까
commercial break. Hope you enjoy that. Okay, and I think we are ready for our guests. They are ready and waiting. And I'm going to invite Mr. Akeem Baldi to the stream here. Hey, Akeem.
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. 1 second. I'm just going to adjust something with my audio here.
No problem.
Okay, can you go ahead and say something? Let me see if I could hear you.
Hi, my name is Akeem.
Perfect. All right, excellent. We're good to go. Wonderful. Okay, so Akeem, if you can just take a moment just to introduce yourself, and we can take it from there.
No problem. So again, my name is Akeem Baldi. I am a insurance advisor at Guardian Life Limited, right? So when it comes down to insurance, I'm your insurance guy. All right. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. And as I understand it, Akeem, you are the youngest insurance professional at Guardian Life.
Currently in the branch that I'm in, yes.
Okay, that's nothing to snooze at. Congratulations on that, representing young people and being a young professional.
Thank you very much.
So first, thank you so much for taking the time out, especially on a Sunday, to come and sit down and speak with us about health insurance, healthcare in general in Jamaica. And I guess to start with, can you just give us an idea of like day-to-day operationally, like what your job entails?
Well, on a day-to-day basis, right, I normally create appointments with prospective clients to discuss the various policies that they may be interested in. Apart from just discussing the various products and policies, let's say you are interested in a particular service that the policy may carry, I can break it down for you, right? So I do the breakdown, I do the paperwork. Pretty much, I do most of the thinking for you as it regards to insurance in general, life insurance in general.
Okay. And can you give us an idea of your typical client, if you would, just obviously being very, very generic?
In terms of the age group, or you mean?
I would say age group, demographic, like where they're from, sort of thing as well.
Okay. Well, in terms of where they're from, I do have prospective clients all over the country. Um, I tend to normally target the younger age group, so like 18, my age, 30, yeah, because even though we would want everybody to get insurance for themselves, but life insurance for me, being a younger person myself, I would want everyone my age to can see the importance of it, see the usage of it, and to get it for themselves as well.
Okay. And you do both life insurance and health insurance?
We do health insurance as well, right?
Okay. All right. So what I want to do is like just go do the health insurance and then then go into life insurance, because I also think that is very, very important as well. So with healthcare, and as I was saying before, the majority of people, I would say, on this stream don't live in Jamaica. Not saying that nobody in the stream does live in Jamaica. We heard from the shout outs that they do. But for those that are looking to move back or move to Jamaica, what is the process like of acquiring health insurance?
Well, the process, it can be a bit hectic, especially with the age. However, just because I say it can be hectic doesn't mean that it's impossible, right? For the most part, when it comes down to life insurance, health insurance in Jamaica, and I would love to believe in the US and Canada as well, where age normally plays the biggest role. So normally for us, I do know that by the time you reach retirement age, whether it be 60 for females, 65 for males, or in general 60 or 70, that's when health insurance and also life insurance can generally become the harder to get.
Okay. And when you say harder to get, you mean to qualify, or
Right.
you are paying? Okay. And I would
And
also
the pay as well, as you rightfully
right.
mentioned.
Okay, but not impossible.
Not impossible.
Okay, and is this because you're coming into a new system at a more senior age, or would you probably say face less of a battle, so to speak, if you were already had a plan for like 10 years and you just kind of get grandfathered into it, for lack of a better term?
Well, it's really mostly for the fact that you're just coming in at the age that you're at.
I see.
Mhm.
I see. I see. I see. And can you give us an idea, irrespective of age, idea of some of the policies, health insurance policies that are offered, and also what's covered?
All right. For that, I wish I had something that I could just blow up the screen,
Right.
but I have it on my phone here.
Sure. 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 That's fine.
Right. Do you want me to send it to you directly, or is it okay for you?
Yeah. Yes. Sure. Send it to me, and then. Oh, you could send. You know what? Send it to Candice.
Send it to Candice.
Yeah, and then she'll send it to me. Yeah.
All right, no problem. I wanted to figure that out. But in terms of life insurance policies, normally, I there's a specific team that I normally allowed to do do most of the pitch, the talking for that.
Oh, sorry. This is health insurance, right?
Right, health insurance.
Okay. All right.
Sorry. Right. So for health insurance, there's normally a dedicated team.
Mhm.
Not to say that I won't, talk about it, but there's normally a dedicated team for it for them as well. Hold on a second. Let me just find this real quick. But in the meantime,
Mhm.
while I'm looking for it, though, I mean, you can go ahead and finish discussing anything
Sure.
else.
I was going to ask the next question I was going to ask is the health insurance that you would provide that would cover you island wide.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Right. So, as you already know, when it comes on to health insurance, you will get in your card where you can go to the doctor's visit, prescription, etc., etc. There are normally different policies, different packages you can get with it, right?
Hmm.
That can cover a certain amount of expense for you.
I know you're sending me the document now, but can you give us an idea of some of those packages?
Right. One of them that I can remember very vividly, where you can get like dentals being like about 8,000. Doctor's visit is about $2,000. Yeah.
So this is 8,000 per visit.
Right.
Okay, so let me just give everybody the math on that. So everything today I'm going to do at a conversion rate of 150, which is not exact, just for everybody and the audience for the sake of ease. So that's $53 for the visit, US dollars, 53. And that's going to be converted to US, sorry, Canadians and people over in the UK. Yeah.
We still love you guys though.
Sorry, wrong there. And what was the second one that you gave us? The cost you said doctor's visit was 8,000. What was the other one?
Like about $2,000.
That was for what?
That was for the doctor's visit.
That was for the okay. So that's $13. Okay, gotcha. Okay, and what is the monthly cost for these policies?
Right. That's what I'm trying to find for you right now, but
Mhm.
the phone is giving me a hard time.
Okay, so Joe is asking so for the $8,000, what is that? Is that the copay? What does that cover?
Okay, so that can cover between cleaning, deep fill, the filling.
This
Pretty
is
much.
dental.
Yeah, dental. Right.
Dental. Okay. So your dental visit to do basically a dental checkup is $8,000 with insurance.
Right. Can be.
and
Right.
that's under this particular policy, right? So I guess it all depends on, like you were saying, age. I'm sure whether you're a smoker or non-smoker, all of those basic things,
Pretty.
right? So we get that. We just kind of trying to give out some basic numbers here, some basic understanding.
Right. So I can talk about one that I just pulled it up here. It's called the Guardian Elite. It's one of the health insurance packages. Right. So some of the services that this one covers, as I mentioned, you have the doctor's visit, even home visit as well. Right. Both of those are $2,000. Just saying. You get maternity. You get prescription drugs. For the prescription drugs, there's an annual limit per person, and it could be up to 80% of the cost.
So I know with the policy that I have, it's a specific dollar amount. Is that the same that you're talking about?
Well, up to 80% of the cost, up to $15,000 per month.
Okay. So I have an annual, I don't know what it is, but like I have an annual limitation on my prescription drugs, and it always runs out like almost immediately. I mean, just like almost in one fell swoop. And same thing with my dad too, because of his prescription, like it kind of runs out. I don't know, I can't remember what that dollar amount is, but I know it runs out pretty quickly. But you're saying that policy is a percentage of the prescription up to 15,000 per month.
Right.
And this is the Guardian Life Elite, you said?
Yeah, this is what we call the Elite.
Gotcha. And how much is that annually or monthly to be a part of that insurance package?
All right, to be a part of this insurance package, hold on a sec. Let me go ahead and find it back. Oh my gosh, I have to switch around. Please forgive me, all right?
Yeah, no problem. I just show them the beach real quick, and then
No
there
problem.
we go.
Right. So if you're looking at an individual package, that could be about $20,000, $20,283, roughly about that amount you're looking at
Per month. Okay. So you're looking. So let's just again call it 20,000 for argument's sake. So basically $133 per month. And this, would you say this is like, I know it's called Elite, but would you say this is like your premium insurance package that you offer your clients?
This is one of them. When I say that Guardian Life does have a number of health insurance packages, they do. But this is one of those that I realize is one of the common ones.
I see.
Yeah, one of the more affordable ones, rather.
Okay. So that's about $133 per month to pay for this, and it gives you some coverage with the doctor, with dental and GP. Now, what about like surgeries? How does that work?
All right, with surgeries, yes, you do get coverage on surgeries as well. So you get up to 80% covered for your surgeries as well, right? Yeah, pretty much up to 80%.
And does any of this coverage, is this at all extended to other countries?
Yes, we do have overseas emergency, but the maximum benefit for that one you're looking at about $100. $100, right?
It's $100.
Not $100. Sorry, $100,000. Sorry,
100,000 Jamaican or US?
That's a US.
Okay, so I just want to be clear on this. That is, if you are traveling abroad, you have this coverage. Okay, and is that a separate package, or is that included in the Elite?
So far, it's included in the package in general right now. Put it this way, we don't know if there may be a change in the future, but for now, you can say that it's there.
And is it? I would assume it's through reimbursement. So like you go abroad, you hurt yourself, you get medical care, it costs 5,000 US. Bring the paperwork back, and you'd be reimbursed.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Now you can actually what can be done, especially if you and your advisor is pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
You normally would want to contact your advisor. Let he or she knows what's up.
Okay.
And from there, we, like myself, will try to find ways to get things done as promptly as possible for you as the client.
Okay. And now, what about a situation where, when we were talking about this earlier, where there is some sort of health service that you require but is not available here in Jamaica? Would you be able to, under that same umbrella, would you be able to travel abroad and get those services there, and it still be covered under that $100,000 US maximum?
Well, let me say this much. If something is not offered here, pretty much, and you're saying that you would need to, like, for example, the burn.
Mhm.
You're mentioning the burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a doctor out here. What? Allow me to can clarify on that for you.
Okay.
I can have that information sent to you by tomorrow or so.
Okay.
If that's okay.
All right. Yeah, that sounds
For
fair.
that one, I definitely don't want to give wrong information.
Okay. Kind of sticking along the same lines. I know you guys offer, I forget what it's called. But basically emergency medical care. Like, so if you needed to be like air vac'd out of here, can you speak to how that works?
As in, like
Like if you
from-
needed to be medevaced out of the country or anywhere, can you talk to us about like that policy and that package?
For that one as well, I would also have to get more information on that part for you.
Okay.
Sad to say, I haven't met a client that I had to do this for so much, really. So more than likely, I would have to get some information on that. And you, just to confirm, that would be for the emergency ear vac, right?
Yes. And reason why I'm asking, I think that as we recognized earlier, that and this is my opinion, that one of the weaknesses in the healthcare system here is when there is like a traumatic emergency situation here, that Jamaica may not be the best place to get medical care in that respect. Not to say they can't handle it, but
Right.
not saying that at all.
Right.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of gunshot wounds and stab wounds here, and motorcycle accidents, etc. And so anyway, I think one of the things that prospective people who are looking to move here, and especially in the retirement age, and they are looking and trying to figure out what is the care that they're going to receive. What if an emergency happens? What is the plan? What are my options? And so if there, and of course, and without killing the bank, and so if there is an option for this emergency medical care, so you can be medevaced out of here, it's important to know, I think, from a peace of mind standpoint, that's covered. I got, somebody moving here, say from Florida, and they move to Negril. They know, okay, Negril has a state-of-the-art hospital, brand spanking new, first world, got brand new equipment, et cetera, et cetera. And I know my day-to-day coverage of, scans, MRIs, prescriptions, all of that is covered. But what happens if I fall down the stairs or whatever have you, God forbid.
Right. Pretty much dentals.
Right. So I think that's something that people would like to have an understanding of, what their options are, what that would look like financially, and of course the quality of service that was associated with that. So yeah, if you can get back to me on that would be amazing, and we can get that out.
No problem. And I like the fact that you touch on the accidentals as well. This is maybe where we will be shifting a little bit from the health insurance and back over to the life insurance. Because with the life insurance, normally when you take out a policy,
Mm-hmm.
Most of the policies that you can get, you have what we call the rider plan. And with that rider plan, you can actually get accidentals with it. So we call it accidental death or permanent disability slash dismemberment. So what happens is, as you rightfully say, you're walking up the stairs, God forbid, you ended up come crashing down the stairs for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are you will definitely need to do surgery, right? Especially in your older age, you definitely need to do surgery. Maybe you might end up have to cut off that foot. Hopefully not, but if that's the case, that's where you would be known as a permanently disabled. You can get a payout for that. That will help you to cover medical expenses and also your monthly expenses, or personal expenses.
And are these term life or whole life policies that you're
So they actually, you can get them in both term life and whole life.
okay? Okay, and can you just break those down for the audience as well? What the major difference between term and whole life?
Right. So with term life, as the word suggests, term, it means a time period. It does have an expiration date. So for one of my favorite term policies that I normally introduce to especially new clients is called Five for Life. It's served for 5 years. After the 5 years, you can renew it or you can just stop the insurance policy right then and there. With the whole life now, whole life policies is the one that basically it lasts your lifetime. Um, yeah, so the minute you get it, let's say you got it from age 18, or even better, let's say you got it while you were in school, your parents took it out for you. For that policy, you will have it up until the day you retire from the working world, and chances are you'll be covered until you die.
Gotcha. And along those lines, let's stick with whole life insurance right now. And you mentioned earlier that you are really trying to get to young people, and I'm assuming you're trying to get them into the whole life policy. But can you explain and break down the importance slash advantages of taking on a whole life policy at an early age and the investment benefits that are associated with that, and then I guess also tie into the health part as well, which you were doing earlier.
No problem. So with the whole life policies, especially at a young age, what you should know is that the younger you are, the more affordable insurance is for you. The younger you are, the more affordable it is. You also get, as rightfully mentioned, the investment side of it, where a part of your premium that you pay monthly tend to go over into a savings and investment account.
Mm-hmm.
That's money that you can also use real time whenever you're ready for it. Normally, though, I would always tell people if you don't have to touch that money, leave it to grow
Right.
because, that's what we call passive income. Basically, that's money earning for money trying to earn more money for you,
Right.
right? Uh, yeah, so pretty much, yeah, it's really affordable for younger persons. It's better for you. I mean, statistic wise, if we're going to talk about some of the diseases and illnesses that tend to trouble us in Jamaica, uh, 30% of our death in Jamaica is caused by heart disease.
Mm-hmm.
And if we know Jamaicans, we know that we love to party sometimes. And a lot of persons tend to do a lot of smoking, especially in, sad to say, our age group. Well, at least my age group.
Mm-hmm.
So we tend to do a lot of smoking. And that's how you normally develop heart disease. But you taking out your insurance, I'm not going to say that you should continue smoking, though. If you can stop, stop. But taking out your insurance, you're basically saying to yourself and everybody, hey, I value myself. I want to create prosperity for my life and my beneficiaries as well. Right. Another thing that plagues us in Jamaica, again, you mentioned it before, was the car accidents or vehicle accidents, right? If you're gonna talk about statistics, last year alone, there was what, 488 fatalities in car accidents. Uh, don't quote me on that, please, but I think it was about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and with the same life insurance policy, you do get the chance to have your accidental death and permanent disability that can help you or help your beneficiary in the event of that worst case scenario.
Okay. So I want to shift back. We got a couple questions kind of going back to healthcare. And Tia asked, why would you need insurance in Jamaica if healthcare is free for most things?
Ooh, that's a really good one. It's not that healthcare to the public hospitals is what I know is free.
Mm-hmm.
Not and it's not even for everything either, based on what I've heard, you know. So why would you need healthcare or health insurance or life insurance in general? Because by the end of the day, if something does happen to you that, let's say, the government or the hospitals won't cover, where are you gonna get the money from? Even if you do have the money, it's gonna put a dent in your pocket though. One example that I recently gave one of my prospective clients, if tomorrow morning should come and he has $10 million in the bank, he will call himself a rich man. That's yes. If the following morning should come and he has to do a surgery that cost him $5 million, he's rich, but he's now gonna have to spend that $5 million out of his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what the insurance does for you in general. Even if it does not covers everything, it still offsets some of the expenses of your pocket.
And I'd also like to add, like, to your point, that if you have your own private doctor in your community, you
Mhm.
can go to them as opposed to going to the hospital to see a doctor for free.
That's right.
Okay. No, good point. Good point. So you're obviously sending me a document. I just want to remind everybody that the document that we put together internally here at the team at Throp Media, we are sending it out in our newsletter on Thursday. And if you want to sign up for that newsletter, you can go to thropx.com and you'll get that in your mailbox on Thursday. And we'll also include that your document, Akeem, that you're going to be sending to Candy. So we'll put that in there as well. And this has a breakdown of all the packages and everything like that with the insurance. Okay. So Akeem, is there anything else that you want us to know here before I get your contact information to share with everybody?
Pretty much, as I said, I'm your insurance guy, and also guys, I do have a Instagram page that I am basically putting like informative posts on it for now. Sooner or later, you guys can also look out for a small podcast via me as well.
What's your Instagram?
That Insurance Guy 2023. No space.
All right, I'm putting that up there. So you guys can go ahead and follow Akeem. And is it okay if they reach out to you with more questions that they have?
Yes, that would be lovely. You guys have my phone number, so yes, reach out to me. WhatsApp me if you're calling me, you're not getting me, especially because more than likely I'll be using the phone so much. Just WhatsApp me, and I promise you, I'll reach out to you.
Okay, so we'll include in the email all of Akeem's details with his email address, his WhatsApp. You guys got his Instagram right there, so feel free to reach out to him with any further questions that you may have. So Akeem, thank you so much for coming on and kind of breaking this stuff down and give us an idea of the cost for your packages, as well as talking about the life insurance policies that you're offering.
No problem. Thank you for having me. This was actually a big pleasure for me, right?
Absolutely. Okay. You take care, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, awesome. And that was Akeem from Guardian Life. So, of course, like I said, if you have any questions, you can reach out to Akeem on Instagram. Throw that's his handle right there. That Insurance Guy 2023. Any questions, life and health, you can hit him up. And on the newsletter that we'll send out on Thursday, you'll also get his specific contact details with his WhatsApp, his email, and of course his Instagram. With that, let's keep it moving here. Let's get back into the document. And which kind of leaves us right at where we're talking about with dental. Let me share my screen here. And continue to leave any questions in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Okay, let's move on to dental. I see you guys are having your own discussions in there. I will leave it at that. I will not disturb. I won't say leave it at that. I will not disturb the discussion. So we're moving into dental here to start. Let me just make sure that there aren't any pressing comments here. All right. I'm not seeing anything too crazy. Cool. All right, let's keep moving. Okay, we are on dental care prices. All right, so the company that we reached out to is Natural Smiles, and this is located at the Boardwalk Village, which is a new plaza where, where NCB and Hilo are located. And we just picked up the phone, and we called them and we talked to them, and we brought you these prices. And I'll read through them. Dental care prices, Natural Smiles. Walk-ins accepted. Prices vary between Kingston and Negril. After a consultation, the dentist will give you an exact price. These, however, base prices for some procedures in order to provide a better understanding of price ranges in Jamaica. Okay, so consultation, this is the Negril location, is 2,500 Jamaican or $17 US. Cleanings, fillings, composite bonding, and tooth extraction, 8,000 Jamaican dollars or 54 US. The price may increase depending on the condition of the teeth, the depth of the cavity, the number of teeth, and so on. Root canals. This is a favorite among all of us, right? Root canals, front teeth only, starting at 55,000 Jamaican or 367 US dollars. Prices increase based on individual case. Teeth whitening, 30,000 Jamaican dollars or 200 US. This is it for an hour and a half session. Braces is what? Is this right? 4,000. Okay, all right. Sorry, I don't know if this might be wrong, but it says 4,500. I'm going to look into that. That might be a typo. It says 4,500 US. 30. I don't know. We're going to leave that off. I think that's a typo. 4,500 US sounds more feasible than 4,500 Jamaican, but that's kind of crazy if that is the case. And $30 US. We'll see. We'll put an asterisk next to that one. Dentures, 22,500 Jamaican or 150 US dollars. Crowns and bridges will get that price. Moving on, within 6 months of consultation and examination, you are not required to pay the dental visit fee. For a prescription to see the dentist, you pay only for the procedure. 1-year warranty on fillings. The warranty doesn't cover damage caused by patient neglect, such as eating hard food that may compromise the filling before it completely sets. All right, Kingston location prices. Consultation, $2,500, $17 US. Hold on. All right, just getting clarification. So that is for the For the braces, it's 4,500 US. That is correct. So that's 4,500 US for the braces. All right. Kingston location cleanings, fittings, composite bonding, and tooth extraction. Like filling. All right. So that's 9,000 Jamaican or $60 US. Noted the price increase depending on the condition of the teeth, the depth of the cavity, the number of teeth, and so on. Sealant like filling 6,000 Jamaican or $4 US. Root canals 75,000 in Kingston or 500 US. Teeth whitening 35,000 Jamaican or $234 US. Braces 4,500 US. Payment plan offered. Braces consultation 4,000 Jamaican or $27 US. Braces removal 45,000 Jamaican or 300 US. Dentures 22,500 or 150 US. Crown is 900 US dollars per tooth. Fluoride treatment is 4,000 Jamaican dollars or 27 US dollars. All right, we have another company as well in Kingston, Restorative Dental Jamaica, and whitening is 25,000 Jamaican or $167 US. Take home kit is 30,000 Jamaican or 200 US. Get an X-ray done there is 3,000 Jamaican or $20 US. A crown is 80,000 Jamaican or 534 US. He's getting another price. That's I got it. Okay, that's the front tooth. The back tooth is 160,000 Jamaican or 1,067 US. Adult routine checkup is 8,000 Jamaican dollars or $54 US. Adult with heavy buildup is 10,000 Jamaican or $67 US. Denture cleaning is 4,000 Jamaican or 27 US. Preventative fissure sealant, I'm not sure what that is, but that is 3,000 Jamaican or $20 US per tooth. Dental assessment is 5,000 Jamaican or $34 US. A small x-ray is 3,000 Jamaican or $20 US. White fillings from 15,000 Jamaican or $100 US. Bondings and front teeth is 15,000 Jamaican or 100 US. Root canal treatment is 68,000 or $454 US. Dentures are $35,000 Jamaican or $234 US. Forceps extraction is 18,000 Jamaican or 120 US. And surgical extraction is 35,000 Jamaican or $234 US. Note, a lot of information is available on their website and appointments can be scheduled through www.restoredentja.com. And again, all of this information will be, and this document will be available through the newsletter once you sign up at thropx.com. Okay, let's hop over to the comment section here. Put myself in the corner and see what I've been missing. Oh boy, where did I leave off? Sorry, a lot of comments came in. So I mean, I would say I don't know. What does everybody think? So SK Skipper, yeah, I'm sharing that document. If you sign up for the newsletter at thropx.com, we'll send it out to you on Thursday. And we're figuring out where we want all these documents and white papers that we're putting together to live so everybody can see. So newsletter, thropx.com, you get it in your email inbox on Thursday. Let's see. Yeah, what do you guys think about the pricing? I'd like to know. Okay, sorry, just reading through this. Scotty Bemis says you can get braces in the US for that price. Good to know. It's Perfectly Imperfect says I have a little whitening kit I bought from Amazon for $25. Worked just fine. Robert Joseph asks, what happens if I'm on medicine that I am dependent on? Does Jamaica have drug shortages or interruptions? Not that I know of. I don't know, obviously, don't know your specific case, Robert, but we're going to get through we went through and talked to the pharmacist at Riverside Pharmacy here in the Grill about their what would I say, the most common ailments that we have in Jamaica, or at least here in the Grill, and we got the pricing on those. I haven't heard of a shortage on anything. There could be, but I haven't heard. I can look into this and see what that's like. But I think that's a fair question and fair concern. Lorette Walker says, are healthcare providers using electronic health records? I'm unsure. That's a good question. Great question. We will look into that. B. Isaiah says the dental pricing is the same as here in Toronto. T says prices are great in my opinion. Okay. 1 second. Sorry, just ordering some lunch here. We still got a lot to go through with the document, so need to fill up the tummy. SK Skipper says you could store the documents on Google Drive. Yep. That's where we are. That's where we have it right now. So it's more so like where we're going to put it on our website. So you, like anybody who comes and has these questions, we can direct them to our website as opposed to Google Drive. Like you click it on our website and it will take you to the drive. That's what we're thinking. It's Perfectly Imperfect says some prices are better than others. A lot of things aren't covered, even with the dental insurance here in the U.S. These prices seem comparable. Yeah, I think Miss Perfectly Imperfect, do you have a blog portion of the website? No. So that's exactly what we're thinking about doing and kind of creating. And so, because this is the second white paper that we are putting out. The first one was, geez, what was the first one, Candice? I can't remember. We put one out like 2 weeks ago. My memory is going. That somebody remind me. You're getting both, whatever it is. You're getting both of them on Thursday, and then we're gonna figure out a place on the website so you can go and always have that available. Housing prices. Thank you. Candice just got back to me. So we did a document on housing prices and mortgages, the process to attain a mortgage, the process of applying for NHT loan. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, so and how to attain a mortgage and how to go through the NHT process. So it's pretty comprehensive. We thought this document was very important, especially for young people who may not understand the finance and loan systems here in Jamaica. So we put together a comprehensive 20-page document, as a matter of fact. And so you'll have that available to you. So that's our second white paper. So we're trying to figure out, is it going to be a blog format or something like that? It may very well be. So in the next few weeks, we will have that. But for now, like I said, you'll get it in your inbox on Thursday. Okay, let's keep it moving here with the next part. All right, so we did dental care. Okay, let's move on to eye care prices. Okay, eye care prices. Super optical. All right, so we got super optical. I think this is in Kingston, Candice. Is that right? Just let me know where what is. Okay, super optical is 9 locations. I should read ahead, right? Okay, so let's do it. Super optical has 1 location. Imperial Optical has 9 locations, and Broad and Bent Vision has 9 locations, all under the Imperial Group umbrella. Appointments can be scheduled through the website, by phone, or in person. Okay, that answers that. And Candice confirms they are in Kingston. Okay, services offered, prices. let's go through it. $6,000 for an eye exam or $40 US, plus $2,500 or $17 US if dilation is required. Glasses, frames starting from 10,000 Jamaican or 67 US dollars. Lenses from 10,500 Jamaican or 70 US dollars. Note, depending on the frame and prescription. Surgeries for the removal of growths, chalazion, pterygium, and cataracts. Sorry if I'm saying that completely wrong. So let's go through the first one. Chalazion is 20,000 Jamaican or $134 US. Peter Guyan or Terry Guyan, somebody help me here. 90,000 Jamaican or 600 US. Cataracts is 33,000 Jamaican. Excuse me, 330,000 Jamaican or 2,200 US. This is private, offered at the public hospitals as well, such as KPH. That's cataracts. Okay, visual field test referred to empirical optical. Okay, so the visual field test and OCT we will get to down below at some other locations. All right, Negril Vision Center right here in Negril, downtown. This is in between before you get to Scotiabank, going up to where the Aqueducts is. That's where Negril Vision Care is. This is where I go to get my contacts, glasses, and I've done basic eye exam there as well. So eye exam is 5,000 Jamaican dollars or $34 US. Frames starting from 10,000 Jamaican or $67. Visual test, field test. It's from an ophthalmologist. Ophthalmologist comes in once a month. She provides the prices for surgeries and visual tests. Imperial Optical. Eye exam is $6,000 or $40 US, includes dilation if required. Glasses frame starting from 7,000 Jamaican or $47 US, depending on the frame. Visual field test is $6,500 or $44 US. OCT is 20,000 Jamaican or $134 US. Another eye care, broadband vision is 5,000 Jamaican or $34 US for an exam and a visit. For optometrist, for ophthalmologist is 6,000 or $40 US, and the glasses in the frame starting at 15,000 Jamaican or $100 US. And Dr. Vaughan, last one, is eye exam, 10,000, $70 US, visual field test, 8,000 Jamaican or $54 US, and OCT is 22,500 or $150. All right, let's get back to the comments here and see what you all think. Yep, let me know what your prices are, what you think of the prices. Let me scroll up here. T says it's the glasses that cost the most. Yeah, I would say, I don't know the prices. I've never bought glasses in the US, but like I feel like those companies like Warby Parker, you can get like stylish glasses for a little bit cheaper, a little bit more affordable. Because you're paying for a product that has import tax on it that is coming from the United States. That's not manufactured here, as opposed to the service of eye care is quote unquote manufactured here, right? So you're gonna pay for that import, and for that it's just like anything else. It's just slightly more expensive here, like physical stuff here in Jamaica. Like if you buy an iPhone in Jamaica, I don't know how much that's gonna cost, but you're gonna pay significantly more. If you buy a car here, you're gonna pay double what you pay for it in the US. So just kind of the same approach. Patricia Matthews says, for every tax dollar Jamaican government collects should have covered every citizen dental and health care. What happened to all the monies government gets from tourism? I mean, yeah, I mean, this can be said about a lot of things, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but like you can say this about the roads. You can say this about hospitals. You can say this about the police force, equipment, etc. There, I mean, the tourism dollars, like there is a separate fund. I mean, we don't got to get into the technicalities of that. We don't have to do that. But yeah, Jamaica. I mean, Jamaica is just not there as far as providing that. I mean, there isn't even, I would say, enough money to really provide healthcare for everybody. As Akeem was saying earlier, that not everything is like, it's not like it's free, but that also comes at a cost, right? That also comes at a cost. All right, let's keep it moving here. Shandy 5 Brown says the dental prices is great because with my insurance in the US, I still have to pay additional. And Shandy, can you give us an idea of how much you have to pay additional, just so we can get some perspective on that? Mark McCarthy says, guys, the frames in Jamaica are no joke. They're truly great designs. Patricia Matthews, every day lands in Jamaica. The government collects it and people don't benefit from it. I'm not sure the context of the comment. T asks, what part of GCT is for healthcare? Unsure. And I think what you're asking is that GCT is collected and it's put into the consolidated funds, and you're asking what part of that is allocated to healthcare. I don't know. That's how I'm interpreting your question. Marie D says, I assisted a lady with her glasses in J last year. Total cost of $400, including GCT. Chris PW, so local Jamaicans can afford these rates? It depends. So it depends, right? So your job hopefully maybe includes health insurance. We have health insurance here at Travelers for our employees, and yeah, you're like, it's not complete coverage. It's just like kind of like what we were saying with Akeem. It covers a portion. Sometimes there's a limitation. Like, so for example, I obviously am on the insurance for Travelers here. The every year you get, I wish I knew the exact price, but there's a certain portion that you get subsidized for if you wear glasses, which I do. Every year I get a new subsidy that is geared towards my glasses, and so excuse me, and so I have that, but like it's only a portion. But I don't know. I mean, I guess you could, and I'm just thinking of like the average person, like if you were just to get health insurance without a job, what that would look like, I don't know. But for many people who are working for companies, their healthcare is covered. Some don't cover dental, some don't cover eye doctor optometry. T says the cost of glasses in both countries is crazy. Shandy Brown says the local can go to a hospital and clinic. That's right. T says, where is a good place to donate eyeglasses? I'm not sure. That's a good question. Maybe these eye clinics that we're mentioning here, maybe those are the best places. Or maybe the eye doctor. Maybe that's probably a better thing, better place. Maybe they have a patient that can't afford the glasses, and by luck of the draw, the prescription that you have fits a particular client that they can give them to. All right, let's keep going. Chandy Brown says the U.S. got a lot of money. We don't get free insurance. There you go. Very true. T says the U.S. has no excuse. I agree. Totally agree. Sasha's, what I don't like is that there are no levels to this. In the UK, you have levels to dental, optical, etc. It all depends on your budget. You have the basic up to the creme de la creme. No, there is levels to insurance that you can, depending on package. So, for example, if you're like an officially regulated hotel and you are part of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, they actually negotiate health insurance policies for all of its members. And those are where the main packages are picked. And then for you as an individual hotel, you can pick packages from those packages as the owner. So it's like a collective bargaining agreement, I guess, in some way or form that you're negotiating as a huge conglomerate, and you get a deal for being a part of that association. So there are levels in that sense and packages that you can pick in that sense. But that's from if you're an employee working for a company that has insurance, that offers insurance as a benefit. Donna Bryce says, interesting to hear the costs. Here in Canada, we never see a bill for medical care. Seems reasonable compared to the U.S. cost. Tell me about it. Sasha says, in the UK, you can buy basic glasses for $1 in the dollar store. Obviously not great in quality, but then you have options. So if you want Gucci frame and tinted lenses, the option is there. Yeah, you have that here too. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously in the US, you can get, those over-the-counter glasses. Even my eye doctor said sometimes those are great, sometimes those are fine, and there's nothing, but you got to get the right one, she says. You just have to get the right one. Miss Perfectly Imperfect says, I pay $25 US for copay for my eye exam. Through my job, I can get up to 2 free pairs of glasses, which is great. I get a free pair and paid extra for a designer with the thin lenses, which cost $300 US 2 years ago. All right. I'm getting an example here. You can put it here. Yeah. Example of coverage of Sagicor. All right. So Candice is giving me an example here and saying an example of coverage from Sagicor from Travelers Healthcare Plan coverage in up to 2022. Office visit, general practitioner's office visit is $1,600. Consultation referrals is $2,400. Consultational without referral $1,600. This is all Jamaican dollars. Hospital visit, you're covered up to 80%. Room and board up to 80% covers 80%. Lab and X-ray 8,000 Jamaican. Drugs, fast card. Says I don't know what that means either. We'll leave that. Dental and optical plan up to 80%. Member pays 20%. Limit is 15,000 Jamaican dollars. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you for that, Candice. And we'll include that in the document. We don't have that in this document right here, but we'll make sure that that is in the final version of the document. Miss Perfectly Imperfect says, I have astigmatism. I do too. I didn't realize that I did have that. So I'm actually not even sure what that is, but I just remember my eye doctor telling me that. But I have that as well. T says, I hope Jamaica improves the public health care, not to move towards getting everyone insured privately. Dosey Do says, over-the-counter glass is a bandage. Can be. All right. The next topic, I think, is probably I guess the most interesting part, and this is for hospital care prices. And so we're going to get into that momentarily. I'm going to take a quick break and to scarf down this lunch real quick, and I'm going to play the video we played last week, which when the power cut out, and I saw your comments. That was so funny. We got to put these on the comments of the week when I forget who said it, but we have technical difficulties. Strop goes swimming. I was dying when I went back and watched those things. Watched the replay and the comments. So this video is about 7 minutes and 44 seconds, and I hope you enjoy it, but I'm going to scarf down this food, bathroom break, and we're going to do it real quick. Superman. All right, enjoy the video. Be back shortly. All right, we're gonna go on a little swimmy swim. Think I might try to get to the reef over there. It's like maybe 400 meters out or so. Haven't done that in a while. Might give that a go, but it's gonna be a relaxed one today. These are mornings in the grow. Let's do it.
I'm waiting for something to change, 'cause when I'm not here, it's like I'm falling, and I don't know why I feel pain, 'cause when I'm not here, I keep on falling. Yeah, I've been waiting in silence to see a little bit of fire, but all I see is you. Yeah, I've been waiting in silence to see a little bit of fire, but all I see is you.
There's a turtle, but it's so much faster than me. Couldn't catch him. I think he likes those little jellyfish things. I don't know what they are, but I don't like swimming in them. I think the turtle likes to eat them. I think they're like little jellyfish thingies. I don't know. Not too far back, too far out. The reef is over here somewhere. We're close. Morning, Billy.
So I feel safe and sound. Yeah, I can't forget. I keep searching. Need you to be found. So I feel safe and sound. I've been hiding out for days next to
Hope you guys enjoyed that little break, that little swim break, if you will. Next up, we got some drone shots from a sunset, I think like 2 days ago or so. So a few more minutes, then we'll get back to the program here. Enjoy. All right, we're back. I had to throw in that extra South Africa video because I used the bathroom as well. Pee break. TMI, I know. My dad hates when I when I do that. I actually forgot to send him the stream. All right, I'll send it to him afterwards. All right, got food in my stomach, comfortable, ready to kind of close out here. Perfect timing indeed. Miss Perfectly Imperfect. Okay, so we're on the last two big topics, I guess, which is the hospital prices and also prescriptions. And as a reminder, like I said, we're going to put this document together. And if you want a copy, a comprehensive copy of all the information that we have here, and we're putting together, we're going to add some ancillary, additional stuff, I should say, that we talked about that is not on here. So we'll make sure we have that ready for you on Thursday on the newsletter. If you want to sign up for that, you can go to thropex.com and you can sign up there, and you will get that in your inbox on on Thursday. Let's give you guys back the beach, and we'll get into the prices. Okay, healthcare prices. So this is a mega medical. This is the hospital, newest hospital in Jamaica, in Negril for sure. State of the art facility, and these are the prices that they have. Omega Medical. The CEO sets the prices for all surgeries. For example, a recent circumcision surgery attracted a cost of 317,000 US Jamaican dollars. Excuse me. All right, that's just an aside to start us off with, and let's go through the services. So we're obviously starting very high here. So the room and board. So this is like to overnight at the hospital for overnight care is a 225,000 Jamaican dollars, are $1,500 US per night. This is that's a regular room. For an ICU is 3,000 US per night. So this, I would say, is pretty, I would eventually guess, like on par as far as cost with US. And please correct me if I have that wrong. That seems on the pricey side of things, but let's go down to the normal care here, so to speak. And blood test is CBC. I don't know what that means, but CBC is 2,300 Jamaican, or $15 US. Our carotene urine test 11,200, or $74. Are called $75. Electrolytes 3,200, are $21 US. Random glucose is 1,125 Jamaican, or $7.50. A liver panel is 14,000 Jamaican, or $93 US, and thyroid panel is 14,100 Jamaican, or $94 US. EKG is 11,250, are $75 US. Okay, and then next we have a CT scans. We have the CT of the brain, chest, abdomen, and pelvis. And a brain CT is 28,000 Jamaican, or $187 US. A chest CT is 40,000 Jamaican, or $267 US. Abdomen and pelvis CT scan is 65,000 Jamaican, or $433 US. All right, moving on to x-rays. And x-ray for the chest x-ray is 7,200, or $48 US. And ankle x-ray is 5,400 Jamaican, or $36 US. Cervical spine is let's see if I'm reading 1, 2, 3. 6,600 Jamaican, or $44. And that gets you 2 views. And if you want 4 to 5 views, it's 10,200, or $68 US. And to get an x-ray of your knee, hand, shoulder, or elbow is 4,800 Jamaican, or $32 US. And for an x-ray of your forearm or wrist, it's 5,400 Jamaican, or $36 US. One thing we're missing here is the MRI. And I know they have an MRI machine there, so I'm not sure if it's up and running, but I know I stated this before. I had an MRI, multiple MRIs. The last time I got one on my, it was my ankle. Yeah, my left ankle, tore some ligaments in my left ankle. And I had to, this is for before Omega Medical was up and running. I was also in between insurances, and obviously I had to drive all the way to Montego Bay because I was the only one MRI machine in the area. And the cost at the time I paid was like $350 US because I wasn't no, it was less than $300. It was less than $300. I remember we talked about this before. Less than $300. But and that's without insurance. I didn't have insurance at the time, which I thought was very reasonable, especially in comparison to the US. And as I said earlier, the average price for an MRI is, I believe, $5,000 in the United States. So paying under 300, can't complain. All right, before we get into the pharmacy costs, let's see if you have any questions on the medical services offered at Omega Medical. Let's see questions. Kay says, delivered a child C-section for $35,000 US, stayed 5 nights. Where was that, Kay? Rainfalling sound says, is this for real? How are poor people in Jamaica supposed to afford these? So as stated before, this is a private hospital. This is not a public hospital. You can go to a public hospital and get these for the most part. You can get these services available. If you do work for a company like such as Travelers, you have health insurance, and health insurance does cover a portion of that. And I went over those numbers as well. And so I would say like these are affordable under those umbrellas, you know, of having insurance and then also going to a public hospital as well. Let's keep going here. So Joy Turner says an ICU bed in Ontario is over $6,000 daily before treatment and meals. Wow. Okay, so you're looking at about half the price here in Jamaica. Dosey-Do says, if Jamaica keeps getting the investment of lately and profits stay in the country, there's a chance of a trickle-down effect. Petrona says, every hospital in Jamaica must be equipped with at least the latest technology, MRI, CT scan, etc., so that no one should have to fly out to get treatment. No, unfortunately, that's just not the case here. I know these MRI machines cost millions of US dollars. We do have one here in the grill at Omega Medical, but it doesn't. It's not up and running at this point in time. Candice just reminded me, or just told me that. But you do have it. You like now. You still have to go to Montego Bay, but I think that's going to be only the case for a short period of time. You can, but you can get this, as I stated before, you can get all these scans, the CT scans, the X-rays, which I think is great. You can get blood test, EKG. Like these are great services that are offered right here in our backyard here in the grill. Thank you, Marie. CBC's complete blood count. Had no idea. That's the blood test. The first blood test that I talked about for 2,300 Jamaican or $15 US. Ian says there is no hospital in Jamaica. It's all garbage dumpster. That's not true. I don't know what hospitals you've been going to or have experienced, but that's just simply not true. We have a great hospital here in the grill, state of the art, as a matter of fact. Petrona says tourism is important. Healthcare is paramount. Agreed. Okay, says Albany, New York. Okay. She's talking about a C-section for $35,000 US. Crazy. Miss Perfectly Imperfect says the hospitals push C-sections in the US because it makes them money. Clearly. Kay says did a cyst and fibroid removal for 35,000 US. Of course, insurance paid for it. Wow. Life of luxury and ease. How would you go about getting private health insurance in Jamaica? It's pretty easy. Like you can go to like Guardian Life Insurance, and you can get a policy through them. Even with Akeem, who was on earlier, yeah, he going through a person like him, but going through somebody like a health representative, you can get coverage, and you can choose your plan. Kay says my 4-year-old child had 4 teeth filled, and with insurance, and we still paid 1,700 US because it was out of network. That's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah, you're fraction of the cost down here. Fraction of the cost down here. Marie Brown says Hospital in Montego Bay is a state-of-the-art hospital. I heard. Yep, I had to go there once. Yeah, it looks incredible. Private hospital, but it looks really state-of-the-art, and it felt that way even kind of going in, and it had really good service too. Okay, before we get onto the list of the medications here, I did speak with a general practitioner. I thought this was important because this is also another way of that people get healthcare here is through like doctor's visits in their homes. So my doctor here, one of the doctors I used to have multiple doctors for for different things, sports medicine, etc. So the general practitioner that I go to here in Negril is Dr. Vito Radomski, and he actually used to have, I believe it was the first standalone medical facility in Negril. It was across the street from Travelers, and I don't know if the OG people who've been coming here remember that building. It was a freestanding building across the street from Travelers, and he always tells me stories of like seeing like the spring breakers just getting in jet ski accidents and scooter accidents and that sort of thing, and them coming there. But he was definitely the guy to see in Negril, and even from those days, I still go to see him, and he is my main doctor here. And I just also wanted to kind of get you his services and his pricing. So he is, and I'll put this in the document as well, and I will share his contact information. And so he does like, okay, I'll give his exact words. So he considers himself a WhatsApp doctor, concentrating on mainly non-emergency medical problems. And when asked what his area of medical specialty is anything that happens in Negril. And he's been practicing for 7 continuous years, that I mentioned, starting off at across the street from Travelers. And he's available preferably through WhatsApp, and can convert to voice once you decide on a time. And his prices are generally for local is 5,000 Jamaican dollars or $60 US for a 15-minute conversation. If he's available and necessary, he will come to you for 10,000 Jamaican dollars or $120 for non-locals. And I consider Dr. Razamski like he's an amazing, great doctor. I also consider him a friend. And if there is anything that pops up with myself or anybody, my dad, like he's the guy I call here in Negril. And definitely highly recommend him. I think he's a great asset to Jamaica. He's a great asset to Negril. And great doctor, knows what he's doing, very, very competent, and offers great service. And he's just overall nice guy, to be honest, too. And so, yeah, recommend have his recommendation. I'm gonna in the document too, and I'll put it in the description below. I'll have his contact information just in case you see the need for him, or maybe you just you don't have insurance at home and you just want to do a general checkup. He also does that sort of thing as well. So that's one thing I would say that is also very different than the US, is that you can have your doctor come to you, whether it's your home or your place of business, if you're a busy person. And if you have something wrong with you, like before, when we had to do these COVID tests, when I was actually sick, or when I had to travel at the time when it was required, I called him. He obviously had to be done by a medical professional at the time, and he came and offered that service as well, and I appreciated that, just saving time and having that extra service. So that's something to think about, as we are a group and a community of people who are looking to move here and looking to possibly spend extended periods of time here. And when we're talking about healthcare and we're talking about the understanding of what happens if this is one of those things of, like, these house calls are available, and there are other doctors that do it too, and I've used those services as well. But Dr. Radomski has been my go-to in more recent years, and yeah, just something to think about, when it comes to like health services and healthcare in Jamaica, or at least in Negril. And I'm sure Montego Bay and Kingston and Port Antonio have their Dr. Radomskis as well, that are reliable and very, very great at what they do. All right, let's hop to the comments real quick before we get on to the last section. Miss Perfectly Imperfect says, seems like the public hospitals are severely underfunded based on discussions on other platforms. These are life and death matters, but the government isn't doing enough. Yeah, they're definitely under-resourced, without a doubt. I don't think anybody would argue that. What exactly is happening to mitigate against that, I'm unsure. I can't really speak to that. Jammin 1288. I used Hospital when I lived in DR. They attracted DRs from doctors. They attracted doctors from the US looking to go home and retire, and those doctors also helped local public hospitals to elevated the healthcare for everyone. B. Isaiah says, speaking of jet skis, any word if they ever will allow jet skis again in Negril? I hope not. That's my opinion. They're still banned in Negril, and one of the main things that they are required island wide is a 200-meter chute for jet skis to go out, and Negril just doesn't have that, so it remains banned here in Negril. Dosey Do says, one doctor was from Boston, one was from Copenhagen. Both had a bad experience. Very sad. 1990 across from you. Okay, not sure. Sorry to hear that. Not sure too much about the context of that. Let's keep going. There was an excellent doctor though. Okay. Joe asks, how much is a common antibiotic like amoxicillin? I'm not sure if that's in the document, but we're going to get down to... No, we don't. No, we don't have any antibiotics here. I'm just kind of looking at it. But I can look into that, Joe. I can look into that. Candice, if you're still on, let's find out how much it costs for some basic antibiotics. Petrona asks, can someone living overseas take out health insurance to use in Jamaica while not living there, but for when planning extended periods of time? I would think so. But don't quote me on that. I would think so. But we will. But I will get that. I will get that answer for you, and we'll see if we can include that in the document. T says common drugs are cheaper in Jamaica, in my experience. Donna Bryce says, was so glad when they banned jet skis in Negril. Yeah, me too. We were at the time. I mean, we were fighting for them to be regulated / banned, until a really unfortunate tragedy happened. Scotty Beamer says, I'm glad that they're banned. Those guys would harass people and even argue with tourists. Some of them were like thugs. Yeah, it was like now you just don't even believe that was the way Negril was. Like, it's hard to even imagine that. And people who come here now and like, it's so peaceful here, like, 10 years ago and before that, it was like, here we go. This is kind of the thing that you just kind of expect here. This is part of the experience of being in Negro. But one thing that did come out that was very positive, and it's just ashamed it takes a crazy tragedy, and in that case, for somebody to lose their life for actual action to take place, and it could have been totally avoided, and a life could have been saved. But that's what it took for jet skis to be banned. Patrona Wicks. Okay, you said you tried, but was unsuccessful. Okay, that's interesting. So maybe not then. But I will, like I said, I will ask. I will find out. Joe says yes, you can take out global health insurance. Cigna offers it. Dosey Dose says, Throp, you're the best. People have a wonderful day. Okay, thanks for joining us, Dosey Dose. Thank you. T, yeah, I talked about the updates earlier. I guess when it's over, you can scroll back. I even played some videos and some news clipping as well earlier. That's what we opened up with. So that's in the first half an hour of this segment. Kemi says this is well researched and present info. Thanks, Throp and team. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yep. Thank you to the team. Thank you to Candice, definitely, for putting this together. Norma Davis says healthcare costs in the U.S. is not bad if you get it through Medicaid or your job. However, it is very costly if your company doesn't offer it. And I'd also say, sometimes depending on what you're getting done or what you have an issue with, like the out-of-pocket expense can also be very exorbitant. I beg to differ in terms of saying that the U.S. healthcare system is not bad. I think it's crazy. I mean, yeah, you're right. You have to have. It's so important to. I mean, you're kind of just like it's like part of the system, right? And it really does force you to work for a company because it's very expensive to afford individual health insurance. It can be very expensive. Natural Base says healthcare in the United States is trash. They just put your symptoms in a computer, and the computer gives them a list of conditions and prescription. They dope people up. They the so-called have the best healthcare, but the most obsessed and stressed out citizens. It's so expensive though. Hilton prices, but hostile services. Yeah. The healthcare system in the U.S. is like it's wild. I think it's so crazy. Even the cost that they charge insurance companies, it's just, I mean, it's like the mafia, the legal mafia. I think when you really break it down to what it is, and pharmaceutical companies, of course, man, these guys are making bank, and we won't get into the conspiracy theory of big pharma and big food and the symbiotic relationship that they have with one another. It's unbelievable. Anyway, Scotty Beamer says, I came late. Did you talk about the protest at the Lagoon? Yes, I did. I was saying if you go to the first half an hour of this live stream, you'll see some not articles. You see some pictures and you see some videos that were sent to me on the protest yesterday. But yeah, you can take a look. Life of Luxury and E says very well researched. Thanks, Drop. You're welcome. Thank you. And thanks Candice as well. Natural Bay says these companies have cut a lot of what they used to offer to the benefits, but the premiums went up. And yes, people feel tied to the job because of healthcare. Yeah, it's like, I know I sound super conspiracy theorist, but like it's so true. It's just like when you think about like the mortgages that you're tied to, and also the health insurance that you have to get, like it just forces you to work for companies and that offer these benefits, and obviously the pay that you have, and it's just something to like really think about, and maybe you are thinking about it very heavily in terms of being part of this community, and trying to figure out how to get out, and how to get out the system, and not be caught up in the American dream, so to speak, because it is a system without a doubt. And like, I mean, those are like the two main things that you really get caught in, and that really tie you down, especially to a job, is the healthcare, which you have to have. If you have an emergency, we talked about this earlier, like you'd be completely financially crippled if the wrong thing happens to you at the wrong time, especially if you don't have insurance. And then even with buying a home and getting a mortgage, it's you're tied down for decades upon decades upon decades with that. And of course, we are looking for financial freedom, and then also freedom of time, freedom of mind. And a lot of people think and feel that they could achieve that by being here and living here in Jamaica. And hopefully we're providing some steps and knowledge on how to do that and what that may look like for you. All right, let's keep going with the comments. Gary Lambert, are we talking about the quality of care or the cost of care in the U.S.? My experience is the quality of healthcare is very good, but the cost is very high. Sure. Yeah. For sure. I mean, I don't think people, I mean, I'm not, at least I'm not arguing the quality of care in the US. I would say I would say the quality of care in the US is amongst the best in the world, especially if you're in certain pockets of the country, like say, like, and then also certain procedures, surgeries, like, if you're doing brain surgery, you probably want to be in the U.S. You're doing spine surgery, you probably want to be in the U.S. Especially like these high level type of care. Definitely not arguing that. The cost, I don't think there's any argument that the U.S. Health cost is like crazy. Like there's no better way to put this. It's completely bonkers, right? Insurance or no insurance. Because like somebody has to pay for that. Whoever's setting these prices, somebody has to pay for that. And like the American people as a whole are paying for that. And then in some cases, individuals are paying for that if they don't have especially if they don't have insurance, But definitely not arguing that against the quality. Here we're presenting prices that are of I was gonna say run of the mill services, but like basic non-trauma, non-medically emergency related services, right? And that's what we're talking about. And we're about to get into the discussion of the cost of prescription medicine shortly. And so, I mean, Jamaica wins on that. I don't think, and Jamaica's not the best place for emergency situations. I would, that's the bottom line. I think, and that's my opinion. Thanks for the comment, Gary. Miss Perfectly Imperfect, thank you so much for the $10 donations. Really, really appreciate it. Miss Perfectly Imperfect says, well organized and easy to understand. Appreciate this drop. Absolutely, my pleasure. And of course, just continue to remind people, like I will be sending this document out to you on Thursday. If you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter at thropx.com, and you'll get both this document, this healthcare document, and then also the mortgage document, as well as the mortgage document that we put out last week, Sunday, as well as the mortgage calculator and the examples that we gave. And that's like a 20-page document that we put together. Thank you again, Miss Perfectly Imperfect, for the donation. Much, much appreciated. Patrona says, Medicare and Medicaid in-network doctors are not the best, poorest of service. Interesting. Life of Luxury and E says, I was charged $1,500 US for equipment costs in the US. Ridiculous. Natural basis. People literally live to work and then use that money for healthcare once they retire. They lose their house once they go into a nursing home. And like, so I was just talking about this with somebody last night, and like, this is like what travel does for you, right? And it wasn't until I went, really, I guess 2018, that my mind really opened up to the reverse or flip of what you're saying, Natural Bay, which is in the US, like, you live to work, like that's it. And where in Europe, after like I spent a month out there, it was very much you work to live, and it was more of a mindset like you don't work, like nobody works more than 8 hours. Like that's crazy to go over that. You have an hour break, and life was more. I was in Germany at the time, and life is more about spending time with people that you care about, enjoying and experiencing life as well, and whatever, like on a daily basis. It wasn't like this thing that you looked forward to the weekend and you can't wait till Friday. It was more like, I remember like I met up with some friends. It was like, like a Tuesday night at 11 o'clock, and they were like, let's go have some wine on the riverbank. And everybody had work in the morning, but like this was like their chance to kind of just put out a blanket and keep each other's company in the middle of the week. And it's very much about living life more than anything else. And like it's not primarily about work. Life isn't primarily about work. And it just kind of like really, really opened my eyes to like thinking differently. And I was like, man, I want that about my life. And yes, that does come with some consequences, if you will. And the US is the US because of being the opposite of being known as workaholics and being known as putting in like 60 hours a week, being a regular thing, and being in the hustle and bustle, especially like if you're in a city like New York or San Francisco, where you're just competing at the highest levels. The US is probably one of the, if not the most innovative country that's out there because of this incentivized system of working like crazy, and that being a very much a part of the culture and having high ambition. So that, that's a play that's it depends on what what you want to do with your life, and how you want to live your life. And I think the point of me saying what I want to say is saying this, I would say, is that you have options, and I would think, I hope people realize that, especially people who are living in the United States. It's like you have options of living a different type of life, and maybe it's not something that you could do tomorrow, but it's something that you can work towards, right? I'm still not there. I'm not there by any means. I'm working like crazy right now, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing working. But at some point in my life, I do want to be able to have a little bit more freedom, and that's something that that I'm working towards now. And I would say, don't get, if I give any advice, like, don't get caught up in that. Or if you haven't even thought of like having living a life where you are more, your life is more about spending time with family and friends and people that you care about, and it's not always about work. And maybe some of you out there are already living that, and that's amazing. But again, my eyes didn't get open to that until 2018. I was like, wow, people actually live this way. And like, you think of Germany, of this, the first thing I think of is like engineering, and German engineering. And if they're able to, and they're an innovative country in their own way, right? And so like if they're able to do it, like we can do it too, right? So that's my little rant on living life for yourself and for the people that you care about. Shane Love Coaching says, another benefit living in tropical island, there are major health and mental health benefits. Go to the beach, being in nature, more access to fresh fruits and vegetables, etc. Yeah, I tend to take that for granted, but thank you for the reminder, Shana. Like, that's so true. Not trying to make anybody feel jealous, but it's just like, I wake up to see this every day, every single day. Like, one thing I look forward to every day is coming on this deck here that I'm looking at and having a coffee. Like, that is like one of the best ways I can start my day, after running, of course. Just going for my run and coming down here, have a coffee, have breakfast. And from a mental health standpoint, that's kind of, you kind of get that right, it's you're just kind of immersed by it, right? And it just becomes just the way of life. And I can see someone who's coming from a place like New York City, or I'll just stick to New York, and coming here and having this fresh air. You don't have like constant sirens from ambulances, cop cars, uh, quote unquote rude people. I don't even consider New Yorkers rude. I'm one of them, right? But yeah, from a mental health standpoint, and being in nature and being in an environment where you're surrounded by nature, like huge benefits. And then you add in the non-processed food and access to that fresh fruits, organic food, makes a major difference in quality of life. 100%. And for those who are thinking of making that move, and maybe that's a primary reason why you're making the move, but that's definitely something that I took for granted for a long period of time. But thank you for that, Shayna. Rachel A says, American dream, where do you mean American setup? Yeah, American setup, good way of putting it. T says it would be nice to see some first responders system, especially with road fatalities. Just so many bleed to death, preventable. Yeah. Chad says Throp channel needs that Patreon to get this content to the next level. That's right. Sign up for the Patreon. So with that, as a good reminder, Chad. So I just want to remind everybody that we have a Thursday live stream again. So please come to the live stream on Thursday. That starts at 4 p.m. Jamaican time. And we'll be doing it every Thursday. But those Thursday live streams are going to actually be moved over to Patreon and channel members only. And that's going to start in April. So if you want to continue to be a part of those live streams and also the replays, you'll always have access to the replays. Sign up for the Patreon or become a channel member, and you'll have access to that from April 1st moving on. So just a reminder that the Thursday live streams will be moving behind Patreon. Nacho Bay says, I sat on a panel with Big Pharma. It's all political. All these politicians are employees and owners of pharmaceutical companies and FDA, farming, food. They are all part of it purposely. I totally agree. Like, to me, like, this is like just not talked about enough. Like, it's just so crazy. And the book that really opened my eyes to this, I still have not finished reading it, but like even the first few chapters, you just understand this from the get, is a book called How Not to Die. And the premise of the book essentially is that I forget what percentage, but the majority, and this is really talking about the American health profile, but this can be extrapolated to any health profile across the world, right? But it's basically saying that the majority of causes of deaths and diseases are directly affiliated and associated with the lifestyle that Americans live, in particular, what they put into their body, what Americans put into their body. And it's talking about all these processed food, the marketing that's behind it. And the author of the book is basically making the argument of this symbiotic cyclical relationship between big pharma and big food, where big food, will include everything from milk to the McDonald's, Burger King's, fast food, Doritos, Lay's, Pepsi, Coke, all of that. You're marketed all these things to eat and consume. And then after doing it for a long period of time, you start to develop these chronic illnesses, you get sick, and then you have to go on diabetes medication. Then you have to go on cholesterol pills. Then you have to go on heart disease pills, whatever have you. And it's a system that is completely created for you to be hooked, and to be hooked on these diseases that you need medication for the rest of your life. And this is like, and he bridges that gap like so clearly. I think it's a great book to read. And his recommendation for all of us as humans is to have a whole food, vegetable based diet. And he's not saying be a vegan or be a vegetarian or anything like that, but he's saying like a big portion of what you consume should be vegetables. And I don't think that's asking a lot. And I think it makes a lot of sense, and highly recommend reading that book and just kind of getting an understanding of like how this whole system is designed. And we as humans, with our Neanderthal brains that we still have from way back in the day, we still have the same brains. Like we don't have the comprehension to deal and to fight the marketing plans, because they understand psychology and the human brain to a level that we can't even begin to fight against and even begin to understand. And all we can do is like educate ourselves with what is really going on. And like when we see a marketing ad, whether it's on social media or on television, I'm like, I know what you're trying to do there. And then we also make the decision while we're in a place of calm, while we're in the place of zero to little temptation, that this is the lifestyle that I'm going to eat, that I'm going to live. These are the type of foods I will eat. These are the type of foods that I won't eat. I will exercise X times per week. And I have no desire to get on these medications. Or maybe I want to get to a point where I wean myself off of these medications. And this is, and we don't have a chance. I mean, think about even cigarettes. I mean, remember like they were encouraging cigarettes smoke. Like you could go to anywhere in any building and people would smoke cigarettes. Like it's just so crazy. And the government was promoting it. Remember this, like this is not hyperbole. This is history. This is fact. And so at some point, like this stuff is going to come out. I mean, even in the book, they were talking about cereal, how the sugar I don't know if this still remains true, but the sugar content in cereal is not displayed. Like you don't know. And there are many countries, I know I can speak definitely about Norway, where there are just so many American junk food that is just completely illegal and is not allowed to go there. You can't get American cereal. You can't get American candies there because they and the government understand how literally how deadly these products are. And they decided that their country and their citizens, they do not want to even open the idea of the possibility of getting them hooked and addicted to these things. And they understand the long-term effect of putting from a countrywide standpoint, they understand the long-term effect of putting these things into their bodies. So just something really, really to think about. And as you make conscious decisions about your lifestyle, as you make conscious decision about where you want to live, you making consideration of moving to Jamaica, living here. And there are things that are very, like as far as eating and consumption, that like you kind of just don't even think about, that it's just kind of automatically embedded in living here. Like you'll get fresh fruits every day. Like it's just a thing, whether you're putting them in your fridge, going to the market, picking up from the fruit lady on the beach here, or having a fruit plate here at Travelers. Same thing with like just the food that you get here. It's fresh vegetables, chicken. I know we have a chicken farm. Like all our stuff is organic that we have that we farm and bring here to the hotel as well. So another long rant. Oh wow, the comments are coming in fast and furious. Okay, I'm gonna try to get through these quickly. Scotty Beamer says, "Hi, Throp. My cousin owns a school in St. Elizabeth, and I'm helping her raise money to pave the road leading to the school. Would you mind sharing it on one of your live streams? I can share more info via email." Yes, please. So, Scotty, my email address in the comment section. Absolutely, we can talk about it and we can figure it out. Would love to get more eyeballs on that and see if we can help raise some funds collectively towards that. So you can email me at throp@thropmedia.com and we will absolutely make that happen. No questions asked. Donna Bryce says, in Denmark, most offices close around 4:30 p.m. to allow for family. North America has no clue what work-life balance is, just HR catchphrase. Exactly. Let's not get into maternity leave. Let's not get into paternity leave. And I'll leave that there. Like, family is like a priority for these countries. This is in the Scandinavian Nordic region, which is we don't have that in the States. Norma Davis, I work for a company, but not all companies offer health insurance, so I have to get individual health insurance, which is based on your salary, and it's a lot. I understand that. Miss Perfectly Imperfect says, I think the UK is working okay towards a 4-day work week. We need that in the US. Yeah, I agree. Patrona says USA equals pills and bills. Natural Base says, I'm here in Jamaica now with my son with sickle cell. He has been so much healthier since we've been here just from the food and sunlight. Awesome. I'm happy to hear that, Natural Bay. Amazing. Miss Perfectly Imperfect says, I think the UK is working on a 4-day work. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I worked that out. Kedia says, Cuban healthcare is progressive, thorough, and truly public healthcare. I hope Jamaica forms a coalition with them like Manley and Castro once we're moving towards. Scotty Bemis says, I dream of living that life. You will. You will. You have the presence of mind to put it out there, and you know that's what you want to achieve, so you will. M says there is also so much to explore in Jamaica. Throp, how many rivers have you been to? I find them even more charming than the beach at time. Oh, I'm ashamed to say. I mean, maybe I've been to 10 rivers, and there are, I believe, over 200 rivers in Jamaica. And I agree, there is so much to explore, so much nature, and so much beauty here. Just really, really incredible. And take a weekend trip to one of these rivers, and there are so many close rivers. You doesn't have to be a weekend; you can go on a weekday. So many different things, so many different opportunities to be in nature. Great point, M. Leighton says, hi, Throp, good topic. I had a 5-hour visit to the emergency room a few weeks back, and the cost was $22,000. My share of the bill was about $3,000. I'm assuming you're talking about US dollars. That's incredible. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope everything is okay on your side as far as it relates to the emergency. Shandy Five Brown says, the thing that upsets me is when you work in the U.S. all your life and then it's time to get Medicare, you still have to pay a monthly fee for Medicare, which had been taken out of your pay. It's unfortunate. Maria says, Americans don't even speak most of the time. Miss Perfectly Imperfect says, throughout from what I can see, you're not the normal New Yorker. Everyone is upset and tense most of the time because they're trying to make it in the rat race. Yeah, fair enough. Thank you. Relaxing Ocean Waves says, I love vacationing Jamaica. It's so relaxing from living in the Midwest here in Nebraska. And Life of Luxury and E says, remember to like the video. Yes, remember to like the video. So more people can see this, so more people can be a part of the discussion. I would definitely appreciate a like there, or even throwing a comment at the bottom as well. Natural Base says, it's dangerous to talk about. You could lose your life. I had to shut my mouth and just bawl. We're talking about New York there, or where? T says, I've seen little villages in Italy have defibrillators located for anyone to use in case of emergency. Yeah, that's one thing I would like to see more regularly here is defibrillators. I know a lot of places in the States have them, but definitely that would be something good to have here. More, not that they're not in places, but more readily available. Marie says, oh yeah, the U.S. healthcare system is controlled by big pharmaceutical firms for sure. M says, fake cheese that they got everywhere and everything, GMO corn and vegetable oil. All right. Sorry, I'm just so many comments. All right, trying to get to everyone, at least people I haven't seen from. Suzette Finn says Patreon was double charging me even when I canceled. Oh no. Sorry to hear that, Suzette. I'll look into that. I'll see if there's anything that I can do on my end. I'm going to save that comment so I could remember to look into that. T says, is Dr. Greger you're talking about? He has an app you can track your micronutrients. Okay, thank you for that, Joe. Great point. Joe says, I stopped eating meat 8 weeks ago and can't believe how much my blood pressure regulated. Before that, my doctor wanted to put me on blood pressure medication, and I'm only 38 years old. Oh, crazy. Wow. Yeah. We don't want that. And another thing that Dr. Greger was saying is that he's a doctor, obviously, and as he was going through medical school, there was no focus on preventative healthcare. I'm not sure when he went to medical school or where exactly, but he says the focus was never about what we can do to avoid these diseases. It's more learning about the prescriptions and drugs that are affiliated with the diseases instead of avoiding how you can coach and teach your patients to avoid acquiring these chronic diseases, chronic illnesses. M says my brain is not a Neanderthal brain. Okay, sorry. Apologies. Life of luxury and ease. I went on blood pressure medication at 26 years old. I'm now 35. The food environment makes you sick, so you stay hooked on the meds. Yeah, that's the idea. Shane Love Coaching says there are a lot of food ingredients that are banned in most European countries, yet acceptable in the US. Yep. Even in Canada, there are a lot of stuff like that that are banned. I remember I went to a GNC in Canada to get like just my regular protein that I get. They didn't sell it. I was like, this is crazy. And then even the amino acids that I are usually on, they just didn't have it. They just don't sell it in Canada. I was like, man, what does this mean? What am I really putting in my body, right? Chad says it's quite cloudy here at Travelers today, but sure is windy. Esther says, even though so many import JA banned U.S. pork. Interesting. I didn't know that. Relaxing Ocean says red meat is so dangerous for human consumption. I don't eat a lot of red meat, but I do enjoy my steak and I do enjoy my burgers. You're welcome, Scotty Beam. Just shoot me that email and I'll look out for you and we'll make it happen. Robert Joseph says, Throp, are there sometimes delays in getting prescription medications in Jamaica? For example, seizure medication when which needs to be taken daily. And not that I heard. I can look into that to see again if there are a list of medications that are difficult to get here. But I don't know. It could be the reality, but I'm unsure. Dawn, all is vanity. We are living in the matrix. Okay, that's pretty. That's your screen name, but that's what kind of what we're talking about here. But Americans are dying from their food. Big pharma is big business. You are a product. You are the product. Marie D says now a lot of Jamaicans are eating KFC and Burger King. Yeah, that's man. And if you don't know, you guys probably already know. Like, you can go to KFC at any point in time. We're getting one here in the grill, right next to the new hospital, ironically. But man, the line is always crazy, especially on a Saturday night. Like, it's crazy. It's like a party there because everybody's going to get their KFC. Boy, I haven't eaten KFC, man, years. I just don't. And the last time I ate it, it was just like an emergency. There was just like nothing else to eat. Like, I had to get it. As you know, I need to eat all the time, all the time. But yeah, it's not good. But KFC is unfortunately very much part of the Jamaican culture now. But so incredibly dangerous. Like, man. Petrona says, Stop got to watch developers in Kingston and St. Andrew erasing the island vibes. Keep them out of Negril. We're an island. Protect the relaxing, laid-back environment. It's good for your health, for our health. Absolutely, I agree with that. And life of luxury and ease. I only want KFC in Jamaica. That's the problem. They say the KFC here is the best in the world and different from everywhere else. Doshi says, I remember Jamaican people only being able to buy half a prescription at the pharmacy. Esther says, beef eaten around the world with steroids, antibiotics like the U.S. I don't doubt that. JCP says most people should never consume more than 60 grams of pure sugar per day, and I mean on the high end. An American soda can is about half your day's worth of sugar. Good point. Good to know. I don't drink soda, but I do drink Gatorade, and as you all know, I do drink Red Bull on Sundays. Not the best, I know. Okay, a lot of comments here. I'm just gonna keep going through them. Bear with me, everybody. T says Jamaica actually suffers from same health-related chronic illnesses, rate of death, and life expectancy. I'm assuming you're talking about the U.S. Patricia Matthews says it's a pity New York couldn't be its own country and secede from the U.S. New York is capable of running its own. Stephen Johnson says, how do I sign up for the newsletter? I want to know more about the mortgage in Jamaica. If you go to thropx.com and just sign up for the newsletter there, and we get you that out on Thursday, thropx.com. Scotty Beamer says, praying and working on it, Throp. Awesome. Meeks and Mila Adventures, good to see you. Thanks for joining the live, guys. All right, just trying to scroll through comments. Maybe I haven't seen it from anybody before. Carol B says healthcare in Ontario is good. The government recently gave the okay for private clinics to do some procedures such as hip replacement, cataracts to cut down on the long wait time. Awesome. All right. Okay. Pretty much at the end of the comments, and we'll get back to the document. Sharon Thompson says, this is the first stop in Montego Bay is KFC branch. I don't know. It's people love KFC here. They love it. I can't see that ever changing. Scotty Beamer says seltzer water is a great alternative to soda. I stopped drinking soda when I was in my late teens. Good call. Stevens and Daughters commercial cleaning service. Happy Sunday from Poland. See you in May. Awesome. All the way from Poland. See you in May. All right. Last few comments, and we'll get into the document. Carol B says the concern is some of these clinics might sell the patients for a procedure, even though the provincial health is supposed to cover this. T says anything fried is bad for you, but it tastes too good, unfortunately. Agreed. Patricia Matthews, so we can do business and travel from the continent, then we bid farewell to all the colonizers and not worry about them anymore. Soda is a drug. I agree with that totally. And Kay says, don't forget about the copays, $150 for emergency room. Same for admittance for 15 visits, then 15 for all visits. Okay, gotcha. Okay, let's get into the document here. And we'll start to close out. Not really. I mean, we can do whatever we want, right? All right, let's get into the medical price list here. All right, so we got this from Riverside Pharmacy, which is here in Negril in Burger King Plaza. I don't know if that's the official name, but that's where it is. And that's where Burger King is. So that's why I'll refer to it, right across the street from Scotiabank, downtown Negril. And so, start off. This is not an exhaustive list of available medications. Prices are estimates based on 1 month supply for illustration purposes only. USD conversions are rounded up to the nearest dollar, and I believe we are using 150 as the conversion rate. So let's go through it. So illness, diabetes, type 1, the drug fast-acting insulin, Novolin is 4,000 Jamaican dollars or 27 US dollars. Long-acting insulin, Humalog, 10,000 Jamaican or $67. Levemir, 20,000 Jamaican or $134 US. So going, diabetes type 2. Glucopage, 1,000 Jamaican or $7 US. Forks Iga, 15,000 Jamaican are $100 US. Obviously, I don't know these medications, but if you do take these medications, you probably know what I'm talking about. Metformin is 500 Jamaican dollars or $4 US. I guess that's a generic price comparison. Gotcha. Asthma, the inhaler is $1,500 Jamaican or $10 US. It's for the branded. This is the branded medication. The generic one, salbutamol, is $700 or $5 US. Long-acting bronchodilator, Spiriva, is 22,000 Jamaican or $147 US. Heart failure and other conditions, Coreg is 7,000 Jamaican or $47 US. The generic is 4,000 Jamaican or $26 US. Procorolin is 40,000 Jamaican or $267 US. The next ailment is stroke prevention and similar conditions. Plavix is 21,000 Jamaican or $140 US. The generic version of that is clopidogrel, which is 1,500 Jamaican or $10 US. All right. Glaucoma is the condition we're talking about now. The drug beta blocker, Xalodin, is 12,000 Jamaican or $80 US. Lantin Post, which is 4,500, which is $30 US. Timolol is 800 Jamaican or $6 US. I don't take any of those for my glaucoma. I forget the name of it, but I pay about $30 a month for my glaucoma medication. Depression, next ailment is depression and schizophrenia. So for Paxil, so name brand drug Paxil is 8,000 Jamaican, $54 US. The generic version of this is Parextine, which is 3,000 Jamaican or $20 US, so less than half the price. And Zyprexa, which is 50,000 Jamaican dollars or $334 US. And the generic version of this is Olanzapine, which is 10,000 Jamaican or $67 US. And the other generic, which is Risperidone, which is 2,000 Jamaican or $14 US. High cholesterol, which actually runs in my family. I hope I don't have to go on cholesterol pills. I actually have to do blood work soon. I think my running has been keeping that away, but it's just a genetic situation for me. So anyway, Lipitor is 21,000 Jamaican or $140 US. The generic version of this is Vastatin, which is 3,000 Jamaican or $20 US. The other generic version is Simvastatin, which is 1,000 Jamaican or $7 US. And that's the concludes the price list. All right, so let's get back and see what everybody thinks about that. Okay, we got a bot here. Sorry about that. Okay. Troy says, I'll do jerk chicken all day, any day. I hear you on that. He says, I haven't had KFC in about 10 years. Life of Luxury and E says, I'm making jerk chicken today. Sounds like a great Sunday dinner. Rachel, yeah, this is per 30 days. This is per month. Let me just make sure I read that correctly. Yeah, prices are estimates based on a 1 month supply. All right, looks like we're having like some sort of jerk chicken party here. Two. Giraffes Throp, when is your birthday? My birthday is next Saturday, March 11th. Coming up. Only 6 more days of being 38. Miss Cole says, I have KFC every time I go to Jamaica. I'm the best cook and baker in my family. Let someone cook for a change. I hear you on that. Kedia says, Aki and ganja tea is good for the eyes. He said, okay. Never had ganja tea before, but I eat Aki almost every day. So at least I'm doing half of what you're saying. Calligraphy says, thanks for reading out info, Throp. I'm driving. Okay, yeah, no problem. No problem. I figured some people were doing other things while we're doing this. But of course, as I keep reminding everybody, if you want all this in writing, just join the newsletter at thropx.com and we'll get it out to you. We'll get you this white paper as well as the mortgage white paper. All right. Miss Perfectly Imperfect says, wow, all the great men I know have that birthday. Oh, yeah? So interesting. I only met like one person that has my birthday. Troy's Marie, your birthday is March 7th. Oh, awesome. Happy birthday when it comes on Tuesday. God bless DS says, the U.S. has a great quality healthcare, but even with health insurance, you will not receive such if you do not fit a certain profile. The apples in America are bigger than my head. Stay away. Karen Martin says, appreciate your information. I am preparing to be living in JA in the next 2 years. Healthcare is one of main issues of concern. Most people that I know who are returnees go back to US, UK for health treatment. You know, I guess if that's something that you're used to, but there is definitely the availability of quality healthcare in Jamaica. There's just no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Just skipped away. Miss Perfectly Imperfect says, happy early birthday to you, Troy and Throp. Thank you very much. Dean Hamilton says, even with insurance, my copay is still more than Jamaica. Yeah, I figured. I think that's like the reality for a lot of people, as a matter of fact. Joe says, happy birthday when it comes. My birthday is tomorrow. Oh, awesome. Happy birthday, Joe. Happy birthday to you tomorrow. And thank you for the early birthday wishes to me as well. Kadia B says, olive leaf extract and basil is good for cholesterol. Yeah, I need to do something. I hope I don't have high cholesterol right now. I'll figure out. Not next week, the week after. I'm going to get some blood work. Don't drink. Miss Cole says, don't drink the ganja tea. Miss Perfect Imperfect says, 2 of my family members have that birthday. I see. Scotty Beam says, there's a history of glaucoma and cataracts in my family. Many of us wear glasses and have had eye procedures. My eye doctor told me that most Jamaicans have a history of glaucoma, I think. I did a video on cataracts, and I went to, what is the name of the clinic? It's in Frome, right in the middle of the sugarcane fields. I know it's run by Professional Eye Care here in Jamaica, and it's run by Dr. Doug, but the clinic has a separate name. Anyway, the video is on my channel, and I was talking to him about cataracts. So I was there for the day of cataract surgeries, and he was just saying that there was just a higher rate of people having cataracts in Jamaica than in the United States. He's from Ohio, I believe Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken. And in this day that he was doing like all these surgeries for local people. And I was like, man, why is that? Why is that the case? And he said he didn't really know. He says it could be just from like, a lot of people being in construction and dusty areas and, just getting that buildup in their eye behind the lens sort of thing. And that was like the best kind of explanation he thought he could think of. But it's high. We have a higher rate of it here in Jamaica than that of the US. That's for sure. Oh, thank you. Getting early birthday wishes here. Life of Luxury and Ease says, happy birthday when it comes to Throb. Thanks. Oh, your birthday just passed, Kareen. Happy birthday to you. Yes, Pikesies got to stick together. Dean Hamilton says, my mother moved back to Jamaica and she finds a doctor in Jamaica in St. Anne. Awesome. Donna Bryce says, happy birthday in advance, Drop. Thank you. Thank you, Kareen. Lots of birthday wishes. Thank you all. Thank you, Relaxing Ocean. Appreciate it. Boom Knight Jr. says, sending Earth Day blessings in advance, brother. You share the same birth month. March 18th. Okay, cool. And my mom, and she's one of the most beautiful souls I know. She's now resting peacefully. Amen. Chad says the advent of internet and streaming platforms has made information so readily available that it allows vast crowds, regardless of location, the ability to come together and express themselves. Well said. JCP says one form of glaucoma is high sugars effect on the eyes. Yeah, they also telling me like I shouldn't be drinking coffee because glaucoma basically like I don't produce the whatever it is to regulate my eye pressure, and so we do that externally with the drops. And so you basically want to do whatever you can to avoid raising your eye pressure. And so, you know, drinking a stimulant like coffee is just not good for it. But like, I just can't stop drinking coffee. That's madness to me. So I drink coffee every day. Maybe one day I'll have to stop, but I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do as far as being responsible with my drops, and hopefully I'll be okay. But yeah, I don't drink a lot of sugar. Like, I mean, despite you seeing me drink Gatorade and Red Bull, that's just really Sundays, like when I'm tired, like, and I was really tired today, even though I got like great sleep in terms of the amount of hours last night, but still tired. And also just want to bring the energy when it comes to these live streams. But normally day to day, coffee is black. I don't drink soda. Don't drink juice. I started drinking orange juice recently, just because I just want that extra vitamin C. But that's kind of been a new thing in the last 3 weeks. But yeah, try to avoid any extra sugar intake. BSA says it's our diet. The crap we eat is the cause of all these health issues. Fried food, white rice, salt, sugar. Yep. And it says I'm guilty of it too. Yeah, same here. Definitely not perfect. You're welcome, Kareen. Joy says Pisces gang. Yes, ma'am. Red Bull is no bueno. Yeah, you're right. I need to stop. I agree. I'm just hoping that like all this running I'm doing is somehow counterbalancing the bad habits that I have health wise. But who knows? We'll see what the blood work says. Hello, Tisha. Thanks for joining. Really good coffee doesn't need sugar. I believe that. You don't, and that's why I'm able to drink it black here, because the coffee is just so good, just really, really good. So I don't need anything extra in it. Merlin says I've now substituted rice for couscous. Yeah, that's great. That's a good reminder. I used to eat a lot of couscous, and yeah, I got to get back into that. That's a good reminder. Thank you for that, Merlin. JCP says coffee increases the heart rate, which is likely that discussion about pressure they were giving you. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what that is. All right. I think we are going to start wrapping up. We've been going for quite some time here, almost 3.5 hours. If you have any last comments or last questions, please get them in. More than happy to address. I need one of those gaming chairs when we're going for this long, just for a little lumbar support. But this was fun. Like, time flew. Time definitely flew. I knew we were going to be going for like 3 hours because we really wanted to go deep on this topic, and I'm happy that we did. And because this is something that we always talk about. And I'm sure we're going to, reference and circle back to a lot of this in future podcasts and future live streams. Like, this is definitely not a one and done topic. I definitely am going to have healthcare professionals come on the podcast directly. And really, I know we talked about like so many different things, and we just kind of did like a blanket approach to this whole thing. But I want to get to a point where we can go into like maybe even specific ailments and go, spend an hour on each topic. Obviously not in one session, but in the traditional on deck with Throp format. That's what I'm kind of thinking, but want to continue to go down this path. Suzette says matcha tea, green tea instead of coffee. Yeah. I used to do that. Like, don't really have that in here, but in New York, that's very readily available. Good point. Herlin Jones says, do you have an office in Jamaica? My office is Travelers Beach Resort, and that's what I say. You're more than welcome to come stay here, come to the restaurant, but I'm here all the time. JCP says, instead of Rebel, maybe try a little bit of black tea or green tea. You'll get at least the nutrients if it's good black tea or green tea brand. Good idea. I will give it a shot. Rachel says, awesome chat. Have a great week. Thank you. You too. Tea's also addicted to coffee. Good. We're in the same boat. B. Isaiah says, Throp, thank you so much for all your work. Peace. Email sent. All right. Great. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Chris Charles says, thank you for this highly valued chat. You are welcome. My pleasure. Dean says, great segment. Love the topic. Have a blessed birthday when it comes. Thank you so much. Liking and subscribing to you. Appreciate it. JCP, excuse me. And Scotty Beamer says, thank you, my Negro fix. Man, I miss Jamaica. Soon come. Hopefully, I will see you soon and you'll be back here soon enough, Scotty Beamer. Miss Perfectly Imperfect says, thanks for another insightful conversation, Throp. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, everyone. You as well. Thanks for joining. Oh, got some more spam here. Donna Bryce says, showing the beach at Travelers every Sunday helps me relax. Awesome. I live vicariously until my next visit. You're welcome, Life of Luxury. Kemi says, Throp, can you talk about the JA education system in another live stream? Want to move, but the kiddo has some special needs, and I know Jamaica education system is fast paced. Okay, fair enough. I know of at least one special needs school here, the Landalo School, which is, I'd say, about 30 minutes from Negril. But yeah, we will get into that. Absolutely. Thank you, Arija. Happy birthday. Thrive, great info as always. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. You're welcome, Kedia. Yeah, you got to stop by, Scotty. You have to stop by Travelers no matter what. Pauline, you're welcome. And thank you for the birthday wishes. Have a great week. Shayna, thanks for joining. JCP says we need to talk about health because the health industry isn't trying to share best practices. Agreed. You're welcome, Joe. Thank you for coming. You're welcome, Donna. Thanks for coming. Thank you, Shelly. Okay, we're gonna start wrapping up here. Oh yeah, this is great. This is awesome. I don't know what next week's topic is, but we're gonna figure it out. Me and Candy, so we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out with the team. But this was great. This is something that I wanted to do for a long time. Very excited to get out the white paper to everybody and get it up on the website. So we're gonna work on that and make sure we get that all done this week. This was an excellent live stream. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. Leave a comment below because the algorithm is going to push this out and get it to more people who need this type of information and are curious about healthcare in Jamaica, the quality and also the cost, of course. Thank you to Akeem for joining us earlier in the live stream. And I know some people came late and they were asking about the update on the Blue Lagoon protest. So that's in the first half hour of this live stream. If you haven't seen it, you can go back and there's some videos there and some pictures of how the protest went yesterday. And I'll continue to keep everyone up to date as information comes in on what's happening with Blue Lagoon. So thank you once again for joining this stream. And we will be back on Thursday at 4 p.m. And then again on Sunday right here, same time, same place. And I can't thank you guys enough. This has been awesome. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate the engagement. And we'll do it again on Thursday. Have a great week, everyone. See you on Thursday. Peace.